Hello and welcome to my presentation about my personal Who Could Markiplier timeline. I've emphasized Who Could Markiplier here because while it's in the entire MarkCU, it has its stem in the Who Could Markiplier series. Therefore, it's basically that. And I don't really mention a lot of the other egos, so yeah, I think the emphasis is very justified. Yeah, I will take a closer focus and just take a closer look at the interpersonal relationships because they're extremely interesting. And a big part of my hyperfixation is about them in specific. It's always been in every fandom. It's from birth to post space. I have no idea how long this actually is because I did not have the chance to go with the entire thing because I miscalculated the time I needed for preparation. I promise I'm actually very organized. Note number 1. This will be mostly non-prosaic writing, basically a transcript of what I say, because otherwise I will just stumble across my words and yeah, it's not very cool. It's not exactly a transcript since I say quite some additional things in between when I come up with them and I didn't write them down. Sometimes I will jump from headcanon rambling to basically reading fanfic, but I promise it fits together and it doesn't interrupt the flow of the presentation. And even if it did, I would not really care. Note number 2, I'm very anxious and I'm not an Englishman, so I might stumble into grammar traps and be embarrassed about it. But that shall be okay. I'm used to it from school. Here are a few trigger warnings because they might be important. This will have a few toxic and unhealthy parents and families, some canon implied mentions of depression and connected triggering topics, but I will be as non-graphic as possible about them. I will just mention what I need to mention in order to make sense. There's also canon typical mentions of alcohol and canon and fanon typical angst and despair, especially at the end of this. So first of all, about me. I'm 20 years old. I have a cinematic brain with an estimated 15 hours a day running time. I am German. I wasn't born here, but I am German. I'm neurodivergent in case you couldn't tell. And I love Damien, which can be recognized by the fact that I cannot shut up about Damien. This is my mayor badge I made on my jacket. It's a super cool jacket. I feel very cool wearing it. Yeah, Damien mentioned. You're right. And thanks. I like my hair too. Pink hair is awesome. So this is my DA. In comparison, I was very creative with their name. I just took my middle name, the one I go online. Yeah, I just finished this drawing today, actually. This is how they look in Who Could Markiplier. He is 28 at the time of Who Could Markiplier, at least, because age gets very wishy-washy, as we know. He's transmasculine and gay, and a passionate hobby artist, because I am one. Why should he not be? And he's a German immigrant. Of course, he is a German immigrant, and he loves Damien too since university, and he's in an open relationship with him. I will get into that when I discuss the timeline. Thanks, Kenna. This is the whole thing. I finished this literally an hour ago. I was I was so stressed out. But yeah, this is just the 4 series. I think it turned out pretty neat with the primary shading. I'm just reading. Wait a second. Thanks. I think he turned out pretty cool as well. The bottom right looks like me without the blue hair. It's actually pretty cool. So, the timeline, the first one actually, is this one. This is just a very rough overview about the different sections I made. I divided them into the starting years, the early ones, later, and the last, because it sounded very epic and very dramatic, and I like epic and dramatic. The starting years start at their births and finish a little after their finished educations. The early years are basically where the mere attorneyship is a thing, when their friendship are very nice and very wholesome. Their dramas, a lot of dramas, love interests are crashing into each other. Actor starts to neglect his friends, then his marriage, and that's when Willie run off. And the last years. They're the last years before everything is very wishy-washy. A Marmion situationship starts. This is quite important. But then there's the actor cutting off ties with Damien, another crucial point in the timeline, and also the point where he starts to work together with the dark entity and die a lot of times. Yeah, and at the end of last year's Hook and Multiply happens. I will get to what happens after when I have discussed this in more detail. So the starting years. William and Mark are born with a similar time. Not the same day because it would have been boring, but a very similar time. Mark's parents owned the manor, having tons of space left, a lot of space left, plus being good friends with William's parents. They live there with them and work like William's parents work for Mark's parents. A short while later, Celine and Damon are born, but their families don't know each other yet. They are complete strangers. William and Mark are raised together in the manor. They are basically treated like siblings, as it is in canon. Little Damien ends up meeting the two by coincidence, and as he went to a local playground alone with his mother. They were about 3 years, I will say. I will not make the same mistake as Tyler did. I will not be naming years. I will just be naming ages. Yeah. Mark, Willing, and Damien instantly became a trio of best friends because children very easily become best friends, as we all know. They have play dates nearly every other day, and except for Damien's father, the parents were very fond of the kids' friendship. I will just read a little. I don't want to miss anything important in the chat. Nice, okay. So Will and Mark went to different classes. Damien went to a different school, but that didn't really change anything. They remained inseparable nonetheless, and they grew closer with every year, every week, every day that passed. They were besties. One night, Damien was over at the manor, as it often occurred. The three of them snuck into the roof terrace? The roof thing, watching the stars and drinking boxed apple juice, having the time of their life. That night, Mark swore to always hold their friendship dear and never take for granted how much fun they have together. William assured to be the group's loyal guardian forever, and Damien promised he would always fight for peace, even in the toughest days. To that, they clinked glasses, they clinked juice boxes. They ended up slumbering in, there below the stars, until the sunrise woke them. Thanks for the apple juice emoji, Cadmium.
I'm having feelings. You're inflicting me with feelings.
I am glad. You probably already saw this one. I drew this a while ago. It didn't get a lot of likes, but I like it a lot. It's just very sweet. I liked these details with the like handwritings. Yeah, and the pan on the colonel's head. I think that's pretty neat. I will just quickly intervene and talk about the parents or like the family of the people. Mark's parents first. His parents are the ones who own the house. I already said that. They've got their possessions because of the long generational wealth from the mom's side. They are the ones who hired the chef that remains in the manor with Mark and William when the parents moved. They are very ignorant and controlling, but can have a lot of fun if a party of fine drinks or William's parents are in question. Speaking of William's parents, they are very fun-loving and free-minded, and they're where Will got his eccentric spirit from. The Barnums live together with the Plowers because they have always had friendly but nonetheless transactional relations to them. They were their handymen, their crafting experts, and their gardeners all at once. None of them needed to work outside of the manor, and they had to build themselves a great symbiosis. That's why William and Mark grew close from the beginning. They were supposed to follow the tradition of shared wealth, and were in a very good way of doing so. I will just have to read the chat.
Is it not mentioned at all in Who Killed Markiplier?
No, it's not.
Wow, shows what I know.
I don't think his first name got mentioned even. He was always the Colonel, if I recall correctly. Yeah, well,
Wow.
anyway, that's a name. I have a lot more to say about Celine's and Damien's parents. I'm not biased. What do you mean? Their parents come from a middle-class family. They've only met the Epliers? I pronounce it that way. I don't know if it's correct. And the Barnums at the playground, as Damien and his mother were there by themselves, as I mentioned above. The three families were getting along amazingly, but not as well as their boys did. I have made up a last name for them because I did not want to take Whittaker. Why should their name be Whittaker if her first name isn't Doreen? So I just took the first syllable and created Whitner. Because I like it. I like short last names. Mrs. Whitner is a very calm and caring person. She loves her kids above all else, always wanting to assure less and no less than the best circumstances for them, unlike her husband, Mr. Whitner, who is the exact opposite of her. He is cold, rarely speaks a nice word, and treats his kids like objects to show off with, like beings who don't need emotional attention to grow. His behavior conditioned the kids to be stressed easily, to fall into aggressive reactions quickly. It's thanks to their mom that they could work on that in their later lives. Because of the social and domestic standards, whenever Mr. Whitner spent time with one child, it was Damien, as he wanted him to become an influential politician like he was. That's why his most frustrating anger was pointed at him, as he barely spent time with his daughter. He's a sexist asshole, in case I didn't make it clear. LOL. But Celine didn't face bitter character all too suddenly either, which is a direct reason why the twins are both so protective over each other, because they literally were conditioned to be. They never really had a chance to calm down and feel safe in their own home. That's why Celine and Damien, while loving each other, don't really express it. They're not used to emotional closeness within the family and never got to normalize it, even though both would love to do so. I will take a gulp of water. When the twins were grown up, their mom managed to convince their father to leave the state together, only in mind for the kids to be able to freely develop as adults without him and his influence being close by. Of course, that's not what he was told by her. This happened when they went to university. Both went to the same law school, I decided, but Celine started a year earlier, always staying close to her own friends, so they barely interacted in university. She wanted to become a lawyer to help bust fathers like hers who make people's childhoods a living hell. Damon has a goal to become a mayor, one that cares, that considers, a better one than his father ever was or ever wanted to be. So back to the timeline. Once he finished school, Mark went to a school of servitude. It's not just for ongoing butlers, because I say so.
I'm interrupting because I think it's Frozen.
I say so.
I think it's Frozen. We are on the previous slide, I think.
Okay.
Unless I'm wrong.
Are we on? We're on Celine and Damien's parents. Is that right? Are we supposed to be on that one?
I'm one slide later, actually.
Huh.
Maybe try going back and forward again.
The good old trick.
Yeah, with how it was loading last time, maybe it just needs a second. I can always cut out this little section. We can take some time to see if we can fix it.
Looks like
Ghosty screen went black.
Oh no.
So I guess it's got to think about it.
I can still see it. I just still see the Celine and Damien's parents one.
Yeah, that's probably what it did at the beginning. probably
Yeah,
doing
I
that
bet.
again.
It only
But it
took a
only
little
took
bit
it.
of time.
Yeah.
Okay, just scream if you see the correct one.
What's the title of the next one?
It's back at the starting years.
Okay, okay. We'll let you know. For me, it's still. Let me click off of it and click back on, because that's what I had to do when it was loading. So.
Mm-hmm.
You could also try unsharing and resharing, but I'm a little worried that doing that will make it come up with something worse to do.
It's when you
Uh-huh.
click off and click back on, it is loading. So it's definitely
Oh,
thinking
okay.
about it.
So, all right, I will try to figure
Let
out
me
how to do
try.
that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to actually leave the call for a second and then rejoin, and I'll see if that fixes it. So
Mm-hmm.
just a second.
Now you all have to leave and rejoin if it works.
Literally, hold on.
Sad that Discord is personally targeting you.
Damn it, this Discord hates
Okay, let me
Europeans.
see. For now, it's still loading.
It gave me an
It's
error.
bullying you.
It gave me an error, so I told it to try again.
Yeah, it did that last time too, and then it was fine, but it's still just buffering for me for now.
This is so rude of Discord.
I know, like I said, internet has been bullying us. It's not fair.
I mean, if all of you have the same problem, it appears to me that it's like the problem stems from my device.
Yeah, do you want to
could
try
be that, or
turning
could
off the screen share and turning it back on, maybe?
Oh,
Oh, there we go.
Did it
I can
work?
see it.
you just had to threaten it, I guess. Mine's
I
still
know, right?
loading.
Can y'all see it? Oh. What about our friends, our no mic friends in the chat? Can y'all see it?
Miller implied it's working.
It's too self-aware.
It's too
straight up.
self-aware.
Yeah,
No,
maybe it's because I left and rejoined.
Mine's
It's not
not
working
doing
for
it.
y'all.
It doesn't
Okay,
like
Ghosty
me.
can see it and Miller can see it. Okay.
Oh, this is so
Okay,
sad. I'll fight with mine.
Okay.
good. Just scream again when what I say doesn't match with what I'm showing.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. School of Servitude. Because I say so, and he went there too, because his parents wanted him to go. Definitely not because I wanted to match to what Tyler said. Yeah, there actor met Benjamin, who grew very fond of him and remained in regular contact with. But he ended up switching his course into acting in a local film school after a long fight with his parents about it, because we know parents in this type of times. William went to the military, and Damon decided to study law in a local university mentioned above, 1 year after Celine started. Just glitching a bit, okay. I hope I'm not going to glitch more than that. You see the next one? Okay, good. Yeah, the law school in which Damon went. That's where Damon met Michael, my district attorney to be. They were about the same age and had very similar tastes and very similar manners. Michael also comes from a middle-class family who has saved enough money for him to be able to study at the private uni. They all live way on the other side in the Northeast, because I say so. Mike is a passionate artist, but he wants to keep it as a hobby. As a profession, he wants to become an attorney. Nice. Maybe RDAs are twins and they don't know it yet. I just said Northeast because it's the farthest away from like LA. I didn't really have a deep consideration. Yeah, Dean and Michael didn't take long until it sparked a friendship. They spent most of their breaks together, shared their homework and their deepest thoughts, went to parties in which Michael always took the wild lead. Very not me, by the way. I don't do that. And overall enjoyed each other's company all along up until adulthood, which didn't stop even when they both graduated from university. So, I will start the slide by saying I'm very angry that Mark did not provide us with high quality pictures of these pictures. I want to see them, and I want to see them all, because their expressions seem to be very precious, and I just want to see them, okay, without the reflections of the window. But okay, Let me just read the chat. Nice. Okay. Yeah, the trio holds contact through mail and casual visit, which they can do regularly now, as soon as all of them finish their educations. William, a fresh private, I have no idea when he made Colonel, but he has at the point of Who Could Markiplier. I did not make an effort to come up with a solution. That was not very important for my timeline, so I just let it blank. That's Cadmium's job. Yeah, he returns to the manor, and Damien visits very often as well, despite living closer to the city center. The three of them still have a great time together and keep swearing to stick with each other until the end of times. William's and Mark's parents eventually decided to retire into a smaller, quieter residence near the woods, which lead to Mark now being in charge of the manor. At some point, Damien decided to integrate Celine more into the group, since they've never actually brought each other's friends together, and the short times they did, Celine and Mark got along very well. They also do match friendly, in fact. Damien now nearly always arrives together with Celine. Their fun trio merged into an even more fun quartet, and after a short time, William and Mark both fall in love with Celine. Shit happens. This is the end of the starting years. Let's move over to the early years. As things develop, Damien has gotten into the City Hall offices work-wise shortly after Michael becomes an attorney on the eager way of obtaining the district attorney status. So that's a little bit of a time jump here, since not a lot has changed. Yeah, Damien has ambitions to become the city's mayor. He's already popular as an official and is deeply upset about the city's extreme focus on the interests of the privileged. He wants to change things, and he sees being a mayor as the most effective way to do so. Mark has, in the meantime, decided to help Damien out financially. He could pay it back whenever he can. Mr. Whitner kept most of the middle-sized wealth, leaving him and Celine struggling a little. Damien insisted on Mark not having to help, but he wanted to support his chances of what he wanted to achieve. If he helped William out, why not Damien as well?
We may have a slide freeze situation again.
We may had what?
A slide freeze situation again.
Yeah, I was just
God
gonna say
damn it,
that. It
Discord.
still says
We're
it's still-
trapped in
it's
the past.
Yeah, it says the early years with Damien as things develop.
Discord says, no, we will not proceed towards the angst. They will all stay
Literally.
happy.
They're stuck forever
think-
being just happy boys.
And girl,
This is on
Celine is here
purpose.
too.
Oh, true. My bad, Celine, my bad. Yeah, so if you click off and then click back on, it shows that it's buffering again. So at least it's like, it knows that it's frozen, I guess. Oh, okay, it caught up to me.
There we go.
Yep, okay.
Okay, apparently when I go back and like forward again, it doesn't work, but when I go forward and back again, it does work.
Oh, that's so fun.
Let's see if it works the next time as well.
Copy.
Okay. Last sentence. Yeah, they support each other, so that's a nice symbiosis they built from themselves. Damon and Michael continuously developed their deepening feelings for each other, have kissed once or twice, but have never given it a name, because we need a little bit of drama. Yeah.
That
They have
sounds
helped
so
each other.
angsty. I think it's frozen again. Like, I want them to kiss on the mouth.
Damn
Is
it.
it frozen for you too?
I don't think I've ever mentioned them to you. Huh?
It's still frozen.
Rudely, I might add.
Rudely. You could always.
Oh, there it goes.
It
Yeah.
keeps working. Okay, I have to go forward and then go back again.
Yeah, maybe next time you flip the slide, just try doing that immediately, like go forwards and back.
And
And
we'll
then-
just blink really
Like,
fast.
I had to go too forward then because
Yeah. Try that.
but that's dangerous. Maybe
I
I'm
mean-
spoiling something.
If it lags, we shouldn't see it.
But if
Okay.
it does lag, we will see it. I can continue to shout obnoxiously when it freezes.
Okay, just
Yes.
shout. I guess. Okay, yeah. Where did I stop? They have helped one another in severe emotional crises, because of course they did. They have seen each other in most vulnerable moments, had intimate conversations, and were around each other, in general, a lot, with regular cozy late-night hangouts since university to now in their working days. You see it?
Yeah, we're on the soon
Where
after
are we
Damien
supposed to be?
slide.
Good.
It says, yeah, soon after Damien actually happened. That one.
Okay. Soon after Damien actually happened to be elected, Michael confesses their feelings for him during one of these cozy evenings at Damien's place. Damien opens up about how much he cries his feelings, and soon they have a deep, lovely, and positive open relationship. They are both extremely happy, and we need positivity for later. You have seen this one already, I think.
It's not showing it. Discord is being so rude to you. I'm picturing it in my mind. There we are. There we go. Now I don't have to.
I have to go forward and back again. This is so insane. Discord hates Europeans. Yeah.
I told you last time you showed this, but I just love it. I just love Mayor Attorney. I just love. That's it.
Thanks. Yeah, I have a lot of art you already know, but it fits the presentation well, so I will just keep adding them. Is it the next slide?
Nope.
Damn it.
Oh, okay.
There, we see something.
Yes. Okay, there we go.
We're on words.
Okay,
Yes.
apparently I really have to go 2 forward and 1 back.
That's so weird.
Funny. Why is it bullying you?
I have 200 slides. I will not be making this the whole time. Yeah, no matter. Yeah. Since their environment will not approve of their relationship, given the fact that they are both men and Michael is transgender, they keep it a secret and their bonds grow in intensity nonetheless. Work-wise, they see each other seldomly, but the two of them continue to spend nearly every night together in one house. Like, mostly it's Damien's house, because it's the bigger house. So frequently, they thought about Michael moving in at Damien's place. Thanks to Mark's financial support in their youth, evidenced by "you wouldn't even have anything if it wasn't for me." The thing he said in the Damien video, I think that was pretty intriguing. You see it?
Yes.
Good. I will have quite a few of these. So yeah, this is how it looks at the moment. The two at the bottom, they're in love, and it will remain this way almost all the time. The trio is friends. Yeah, Celine is not yet integrated. This was before it happened. And as we can see, a lot of crush issues not yet mentioned. Yeah, the term old friend, I wanted to mention that because it's a canon thing Damien calls the district attorney. Michael and Damien continue to call each other old friend, just for safety, just turned one back. Not really because of the need to hide their relationship, but because they don't see it as a contradiction. They are old friends, and the fact that they are lovers doesn't change that fact. So old friend is an endearment to them, like my dear or love would be. And I think that's pretty cute. Don't worry, Kenna. Angst is a little farther away. Yeah, there's dots on the side. Ignore them. Yeah. At some point, Mark hired Benjamin as his butler. He kept contact well, and Mark did not hesitate as Benjamin told him about searching for an employer. They grew closer instantly, if with a distant business barrier. I mean, they have to be. Otherwise, this would open the door for angst, and we don't want angst, do we? There should a lot of emotionally intimate moments, as Benjamin took care of Mark when he's drunk, sad or just needs someone to talk to. Just a quick thing, I never really put Ben into the relationship charts because their relationship doesn't change drastically in a way that it would have been just a constant one. So we'll just mention it whenever it's important. Yeah, this is how it goes. Nothing much has changed, except for the fact that the two of them have a heart in the middle. Just a little foreshadowing. So yeah, the trio, now quartet, gets a little tension. Of course they do. Both Mark and William have separately confessed their feelings to Celine, who is very fond of both. And since open relationships were not a thing anyone but Damien and the district attorney knew about, apparently, she had to choose for one. At the same time, Damien feels himself grow fonder of Mark. Eventually, after having talked a lot to both of them separately, Celine chooses Mark as her husband and they get engaged. Yay. Also, ignore the past tense, present tense chaos. Yeah. As soon as this happens, the dynamic in the group broke in two. Celine and Mark began to neglect their friends. Damien and William ended up being just the two of them quite a lot, which led Damien to confusion. He cared deeply for Michael and was very happy about the intimacy they have, but he has developed similar, simultaneous feelings about Mark, which makes his heart ache now that Celine and him are engaged. He and Michael had a conversation about being an open poly relationship, but because of the timely standards with him as an official, he was still insecure about how to feel about it. The group now consists of two duos, the engaged couple as well as Damien and William. I forgot to put the second photo of the bedroom scene, the one where Damien and William were very pissed, but you know how it looks like. As the months pass, with Mark neglecting him and there being more quality time between Damien and Will, Damien's romantic feelings for Mark slowly pass over to Will. But William never stopped having eyes for Celine. He never talks to Damien about it. Celine and Mark had their wedding, a pompous large celebration to which all their relatives visited for a night, except for Celine's father, because he's an asshole. I already mentioned that. There were very lovely, nice reunions with parents and cousins alike. Damien would have taken Michael with him as his +1 to finally introduce him to his chosen family, but at that inconvenient timing, he had lied flat with pneumonia, suitable enough, but sick enough to not set a foot outside. While the festivity was jolly and lovely for Damien and William as well, very little about the rest of the situations have changed. Ignore my typos. I have corrected them while I speak. Yeah. This is another update of the relationship charts. Not a lot has changed, except for the little wedding symbol in the middle. Okay, Ghosty. Bye-bye. Next section. Yay. The later years. For a long while, things go relatively well. Mark and Celine have a great relationship and a very good communication. They behave like teenage sweethearts all the time and were very fine for each other, actually. However, their neglect for their friends didn't decrease. Both William and Damien felt unnecessary, pesky in their presence, and Damien has tried to talk to Mark and Celine about it, but they both never seem to understand the issue since they appeared to think of it as normal to spend more time with your spouse than with your friends and to neglect them straight up. Which there's a difference between spending more time and neglecting. They did not get it. William, on the other hand, had very little interest in trying to fix the situation. The man he saw as a brother no longer sees him as the same, and that's all he needed to know. Mark's ongoing acting career then starts its peak. He's at work more time than at home, making more and more money in addition to his parents' wealth. His significance in the movie industry grows. That's where he started to change. He did share with Celine, William, and even Damien, but he slowly was becoming more selfish, more greedy, careless, and lacked cognitive empathy. The more his role as his house's boss started to grow in importance. In the meantime, the more years Celine spends in the house, the more of the dark tension she feels. But given that nobody else notices, she devotes some of her time to expertise herself better about the occult to get a better idea of what's going on. I will go back and forth all the time now. I don't want it to freeze. The friendship of the original trio starts to crackle now for good. While Damien tries to calm down the situation, Will gets into more and more fights with Mark. His growing dislike merges into hatred. The tension between the two exponentially rises over the months, not only because of Mark's behavior, but also because of William's inability to pay back the immensely growing sum of money he owes to him. Mark gradually behaves more arrogantly and insensitively with his friends, and soon with his wife as well. New relationship chart. Take a glance at it while I drink a gulp. Nice. The twins thing will not be there forever. I think that should be clear. They will continue being twins. Yeah. That's the crucial crack in this marriage. After Mark rejects any evidence or pleas to work on himself, Celine's frustration heightens. Celine and William ended up spending more time together. She needed someone to rant, and she and her brother never really went for emotional conversations, as I mentioned when I talked about the family, at least not from her side. She avoided it knowingly. So she sought comfort in William, a good friend who understands her well. The conversations didn't remain on topic. The deepness wandered into other topics. For a few months, it stayed at occasional flirting, but soon, Clea and William developed a heavy romantic tension and started an affair. Because we need angst. Chart. A lot of gray. A lot of symbols to clarify it. It should be clear, I think. Yeah. Ouch. Damon tries to visit more often and manages to put his job and Michael in the fair coexistence to his quartet. He wants the group to hold together, unknowing of the affair that's going on, to rupture this hope. His feelings for William have gotten stronger, and he felt horrible about it. In tears, he told Michael about it, who was supportive and very loving and understanding, reminding him of their earlier talk about the possibility of a polycule to exist with him. Yep. They had a long talk about it, and Michael's stance on their poly relationship has not changed. He was very comfortable with that and encourages Damon to ask William out. Damon felt better, and he decided to confess to William by letter, and Michael helped him. Here's, oh, not here? Okay. A few evenings later, at the sun setting, Damon went to put the letter into William's mailbox. Until he sees no less than Celine and William running off together, suitcase in hand, laughing, getting into William's motorcycle, and driving away. All within the same minute, as if they're on a run. Damon freezes. And this little comic, I think I've posted this here as well. I will shut up for a second so we can just take a glance.
You did post it, and it made me sad then, and it makes me sad now. Because poor Damien.
You're welcome. Yeah. And the witch is directly followed by another thing. Oops. Do you see it?
Yeah, I loaded.
Good. I posted this as well. I posted most of the things that I post here, but yeah, I will shut up for a minute. I had to put a little foreshadowing here because, of course. Yeah, as we saw in the picture, Mark is utterly shattered, having believed they were on the way of getting better, having trusted Celine to talk to him whenever something important is up. Damien was confused and heartbroken about why both his best friend and sister wouldn't tell him about their feelings before doing something so reckless, and instead decided to leave like this without a word. Instead of talking it out with Mark like grown adults. Yeah, sad relationship chart, full of sad emojis and lightning strikes. There we go. Yeah. Last section, literally, the last years. Second. Damon comforts Mark and promises to be there for him because who else is left except for the one he pays? He visits more often than he usually does and tries his best to be there for his beloved friend for the time he needs to process his grief. In a haze of intimacy and deep talks and personal evenings, without either anticipating it, they both brought an occasional but very emotional situationship into role. This did not go as planned. And we need more angst. The same relationship chart again, but with something else going on between the left side. Because we need drama. Not everything Mark does in that time is known to Damien. Mark soon hires a detective, Abe, of course, to keep tabs on Celine and William. Eventually, he finds even more unhealthy ways of coping with the pain, all of which should be known to the average Mark CU fan. Damien tells Michael about everything, and he finds comfort in him once again, as always. He offers him emotional support for his emotional support, as always. Mark's butler has tried to take care of Mark as well as he could, mending his increasing wounds and offering him a listening ear. But Mark was more closed up, leading to them sharing a lot less domestic moments than they did before. Damien's situationship with Mark made his mood a little lighter, though. It actually went quite lovely for a while. Damien later introduced Michael to Mark, as he figured it might be best for all parties to finally get to know each other. Mark, therefore, was the only one to know about them. Damien's two lovers did get along well, a fresh platonic connection was formed. Mark saw something in Michael that he couldn't quite put his finger on, but might be important for later. Chart, with a new yellow stripe in the middle. Oh yeah, and they broke up, because I say so. For a while, the situation appeared stable. Their V relationship worked out, and Mark appeared to get better. But as time passed, he did not. He missed Celine, he was full of raging hate towards William, and he mourned the quartet they once had. He was devastated knowing it's over forever. All of which didn't go unnoticed by Damien. As Damien was at Michael's place to finish some paperwork in the evening, he breaks down, overwhelmed, lost and not knowing what to do to help his dear friend. Mark was getting worse, and he didn't know how to take a strong lead, how to make it better for anybody. He too, Miss Celine and William, was hurt by their disappearance, and the fact that he couldn't help himself or Mark is eating him from the inside out. Michael was there for Damien to gently hold them and listen, but of course, he didn't know a solution either. Mark's depression deepened, and he began doubting everybody, including Damien. He sees he's alone, that Damien can't be there for him every day, all day, that everyone else is there because he pays them. New chart, with more gray on the left, and a one-sided thing also on the left, because we need angst. One more time, Damien visited after work, but Mark was already close to the brink. First, he expresses his anger about Damien thinking of his paperwork is more important than him. Damien tries to remain calm to make him understand that he was trying his best. But as Mark tries to insult him personally, Damien loses his temper. He screams at him that he is not his butler, he won't just be treated like this, that just because he's brokenhearted, Mark doesn't get a free pass of being such an entitled asshole. His words, not mine. You should have never brought your sister into our sanctuary, was Mark's just as fierce answer. To which Damien responded with one sentence. Celine should have chosen him from the start. A silent pause later, Mark kicked him out. Or rather, the house did. The non-physical way. Damien was suddenly outside. After a few moments of confusion, immediate sorrow, and Mark not answering to his knocking, he left. Yeah. New chart. Very sad. Everything is scattered. Yes, I can, Kat. I can say that. Good. Feeling left alone by the world, Mark cuts off contact with everybody left and died in the manor by stabbing. However, he did not end up dead. He ended up in an upside-down reality in the midst of the mansion, where he truly feels the dark entity's presence for the first time clearly. Celine never got this close to seeing what it was. Ben did not notice Actor's many, many deaths, but of course noticed something significant has changed. In secret, Mark learned how to work with the dark arts and the house entity in specific. He wanted to take revenge on William, the person he blamed for everything that happened. And he had a plan. He wanted to use his self-built immortality to his benefit and ruin William's life by staging his own murder and making him the responsible one. He sent out invitations to a poker night at his manor. They went out to the detective, William, Damien, and Damien's other partner, Michael. Damien was incredibly joyous to have a chance to see Mark again, to apologize and talk with William after all this time. He sees this as a sign of Mark getting better after all, and wanted to take baby steps back into their friendships. William, who was no longer together with Celine, was very surprised by the letter, but even more surprised by the fact that he himself hoped to reconcile. He still hated Mark, but in a way that felt disputable. He had hope left to mend what has been broken, not only with Mark, but also with Damien. Then Google Markiplier happens. When I talk about the canon series, I will not talk so much. I will just add a few details about certain situations because most of the canon is just my canon too. I'm gonna just take a peek into the chat. Yeah, that's right. How else should they have taken it? They will not be anticipating a staged murder to occur. All right. This is at the start of Google Markiplier, I believe, when they all went into the house. Celine is not there, obviously. So Mark's relationship to Damien is undefined. I added a new color, and basically it's like it was before, but very dotted, very cautious. Yeah, and my headcanon is that Damien and Will talked right after Damien greeted us, since he was walking in the direction behind us and William got in after us. This was about in the middle of it, where Mark was interacting with, or was not interacting with us, knowingly at least. He had plans for us, that's why his relationship towards Michael is undefined, just as undefined as towards Damien. When Celine crashed in unexpectedly, Mark and the entity changed plans drastically. I got that from his explanation stream because that's a good source of metacanon. In the Cien's room, the opinions go they are very various. But I think the entity possessed Celine and used her body to kill Damien afterwards. Then the actor possessed Damien's dead body and on his way out modifies it into his own look because they don't look the same. They just don't. It is now canon that they don't, as I say so. What happened to Celine's body though, I have no idea. I did not really come up with something that makes sense. At the end, when dead Damien and dead Celine talk to the dead DA, Damien genuinely intends to help. He genuinely believed that this will work, I promise. While Celine knew exactly what would happen. Also, this will work, I promise, is the last thing actual Damien said to the actual DA, which is very sad. And I also loved his tone while he said it, his voice expression. It just makes me cry. So, the Damien video, it still counts to Hookup Markiplier because it's in the playlist. And the end of it, the end of chapter 4. I saw it the way that Celine went to rest, letting Damien take over Dark alone with the entity's influence, so basically not alone. The newly formed dog kicked Michael out of their body, willing to hunt the actor down by himself. Michael should have never been a part of this. Dark does not push him out to save him, but to set things right in a situation where them being on their own would be better for everybody. Michael must not be in Darkiplier with him and Celine, where he'd lose his personality and be mangled into a monster. That would be trapped in that or the other way. And being a part of Dark is not the better solution. Yeah, this is how the relationship chart looks at the end of chapter 4. Basically no relationships and everyone's suffering. Yeah, exactly. The years after, we made the first timeline. Now here comes the second line, which is not a line, but more of a sewing needle. Can you see it? I just gone back and forth to make sure.
Yeah, we can see it.
Good. I just keep doing that all the time. Like, don't mind me. Okay, so this is a very super rough overview. This is about 200 plus years. I just noted the most crucial events that occurred. So on the left, there's the direct junction to the previous one. That's where Hugel multiply happened. It's very blurred and very unclear what happens in between. But Damien and Wilford Loving Morphstash happened at a very close by time to Markiplier TV, as you can see on the left. Date, Heist, and Space did not really happen after one another because they appear to be purposefully said to not have a canon order. As we have discussed quite a lot of times, a lot of things in each series have things alluding to the other before and after. So it's just a big chunk of time being pulled together, and it's just this one little O in the middle being connected by each and every line. Yeah, there is no time here. Time is an illusion. Many other things happened in my headcanon, like these were not the only series that happened. Actually kept doing cinematic scenarios. Like Wire was not one of his, I think, but things like this kept happening. And sometimes there was a void where he could just wander around, but that was a very rare scenario to happen. So the next crucial thing is the flashback incident, the fic I wrote. I will be mentioning that when it comes. Another crucial point was Dark and Michael having a productive discussion for once. And the showdown and the end. Now I will just make it in more details. The actor got the heartbroken, confused, and stressed DA out of the mirror, making them the protagonist in the cinematic worlds. Worlds he could build with what he should have been all along, the hero, the one people look up to, the one people love and understand. And Michael, the most non-involved of the group, was perfect for the role of the duo. And that's how the cinematic series happened. Yet again, I will not be saying all too much because the canon is just my canon too. I will just be mentioning things that are not explicitly said and that are my headcanon, which will be a lot in space. So in Date, Dark seems familiar. He seems very familiar, but he's afraid of him. He sees Mark as the hero just like he himself does. But he can't deny the strange feeling this gives him, and the guilt he felt when he shot Dark. This is the relationship chart of Date, basically. It is very simple. A lot of this is undefined, with a little bit of hate in the middle. And of course, we had to add a little angst, and I just kept scratched out Damien and scratched out Celine in the picture. I will just take a glimpse into the chat. Yes, you got it, Kenna. So, we're at Heist already. Michael made acquaintance with the characters that helped him, but Dark was still an unreachable understanding for him. Why did he trust Mark, but not Dark? And why did he want to trust Dark so bad? Dark has never really expressed the intention to hurt him or anybody except Mark. He had wanted to get him away from Mark, kill Mark even, so he must be the evil one. Michael was not as convinced as he thought he was. not very different relationship chart, just with a little more acquaintances with the 3 people on the left. Also, we have an acquaintance with Wilford now. This is pretty nice. And not an undefined one, but a very mixed emotion about Dark, as I mentioned, with Celine and Damien sitting behind him and under him, just to add a little drama. Now we come to space. There's something different about Engineer Mark. Something tells Michael he's not really the actor, at least not always. He's had that feeling in the other adventures with Mark as well, but never as predominantly as here. It seems that Mark's become his character instead of playing him. And if he's sent his character instead of embodying him himself, Michael, now the captain, finds more in Engineer Mark than ever in the actor. He wonders who Engineer Mark really is and where the actor may be while Engineer is here. And I like this relationship chart quite a lot because it has this interesting duality on the top left. Because I do see the two as 2 different people, especially like Engineer's hair flip to the left. You cannot tell me that this was not intentional. Yeah, not a lot of the rest is a bit similar, almost identical actually. Yeah, nearly the same. And of course, Engineer has a crush on Michael because he canonically has a crush on the captain. As time passed, they developed an undefined creep-platonic relationship led by the default partnership, and the loads of shared trauma bring them close together despite the captain's terrible handling. Sometimes Michael feels reminded of Damien. The memory of Damien wasn't as clear as spelled out. It was more of an intuition. But as quickly as this impression came, it disappeared again. All the apparent choices that made the chaos bigger only made Michael's carelessness grow. His mindset changed to nothing can be fixed, nothing matters or can be changed. There's no reason to continue trying to set things right. When Doreen Whitaker appeared, Michael felt the same familiar, non-threatening but uncanny taken abackness they felt around Dark. He ignored it at first, since Mark didn't seem to feel the same thing that actor felt around Dark. But then again, what would that say? The events of space continue very much undifferent from the canon, the captain's evident emotions and conflicting situations being the ones Michael has, and there's not much to be added to that. But the time when Doreen Whitaker sits down next to him, talking to him in her black story outfit, her blue-red makeup, her past emphasis on not being married anymore, her being a lawyer, it all scratched something in Michael's being he couldn't grasp to its fullest. But when Doreen quoted Damon's quote, all the pieces fell into Michael's mind. This is the scene I meant. I cannot find it. If somebody knows in which part of part 2 it is, I am too stupid. That's why Doreen was familiar as Dark was. That's why Michael felt so frustrated because something was missing. Memories came crashing down on him from the day at the manor, from before, from way before. From the once happy people who suffered needlessly from the malevolent dark entity, and from Damien, his beloved. Doreen finally made him sure of one thing. Michael loves Damien still. He knows he's inside of Dark Replier, but the 2 encounters during Mark's games were telling him absolutely nothing about where he is. But if Celine appears to be here by herself, then Damien must be somewhere as well. He knows that he's somewhere, but not how much of him. Instead of ambition this time, what followed was passiveness and sadness. They remembered Damien, but Michael was built too many walls, too many emotional locks. He couldn't dare to bring himself into the ambition of wondering where Damien might be, not when there's so much threatening their entire existence. Same relationship chart, but with an added Doreen and a little sad romantic arrow down to the scratched out Damien. Basically everything else is the same. Except for a bit of green, a little bit of more green. All cinematic series happen in a timeline circle, the one you saw above, without a comprehensible order. and all of the options have been played through. They're all part of the play, so all of the endings are there. All of the endings happened at some point. But when the story ends, when it's played through, it ends. They don't continue when the actor doesn't make them continue. When all the endings and paths are played, story is finished. After the credits, Doreen disappeared. The final credits, part 2 credits. Celine went back to sleep, Darkiplier in Damon's form grabs the warp crystal, and in space with Markiplier ends. Celine's apparent presence in Michael's assumption made Michael's assumptions stronger. There's no way that the engineer is the actor by himself. So, quick intermission about how I interpret Darkiplier. I put him in little quotes because that's not really what he calls himself, I believe. So I've mentioned this a few times, but I wanted to mention this again to make this whole. Darkiplier is a conjoined entity to me, like just 3 souls being pushed together in an involuntarily vessel, not mixed, but glued. As I viewed the Damien episode, the emphasis of Damien being actor's chosen villain, the emphasis of Celine going to rest and Damien taking over, Celine telling him that it would change him forever, Damien alone at the end of the video, standing at the cabin in molten snow, looking at the camera, the ringing sets in, Damien becomes gray. I forgot to add the picture because I'm stupid, but you probably know what I'm talking about. The 3 are glued together, similar to melting 3 plastic figurines. By burning them on one spot and then pressing them together, then they stick. The control can vary, so Damien is in control most of the time, influenced by the entity to nearly no recognition except for his honesty, his anger, his politeness, his emotional instability. But crucial factors like Damien's gentleness, Damien's trustworthiness, they're gone. Doreen is not super clear. She's probably not Celine in the flesh, but the possibility of her being Celine-controlled dark seems very plausible to me due to the obvious Celine characteristics and the dark-esque color scheme, and Damien Dark's unusual absence. After the credits, after the story was wrapped up, Dark and Damien's form took the crystal. After the cinematic series, so after the circle in the timeline. Just a little mention about Wilford and Dark, what their relationship is. They had a very frustrated talk. I made a comic about this once, because William doesn't understand why Dark is not called Damien anymore. The 2 of them are by themselves a lot, leading them to grow closer emotionally as they have a past together, they share trauma, they share certain memories. Dark assumes Wilford was searching for Celine, but Will was not searching for anybody. He was just falling for Dark, not questioning which part. He did not, like, he did see mostly Damien in him, as he was the only one in the front, but he knew that Dark was not just Damien. I made a comic once about this. I did not put it here because it's too long, but where basically they had a little fight about where Wilford called Dark Damien all the time, and Dark was not happy about this because he kept saying Damien is dead. And I saw a lot of people interpreting it as, well, Damien being literally just dead and gone, and Dark is a new being, which is like a cool interpretation, and could be also the case. But the way I meant it was they were, oh yeah, you can, if anybody has the link and wants to read it, you can do it. I just didn't want to put it here because it was pretty long. Nice. What I meant by this was he is not the same Damien he was. And by being called Damien, you would assume he was, which he isn't. He is not just Damien as he was. He is Damien with the influence of a dark entity, with Celine in the back who is sleeping. This is not something he wants to be called, or like he wants to be referred to as Damien, because he's not anymore. When the space play ended, a lot of other scenarios occurred in a similar way. Now, this is quite a jump because I could not think of anything else happening in between. Michael spends most of his free time wandering in the void or past sceneries, thinking and pondering his memories, occasionally interacting with old and new people within them, or dropping into cinematic short stories, like Wire, for example. But there comes an event that made Michael continue his questioning and his emotions. There we go. I freezed. Nice. A long time passed since Michael was standing face to face with a non-acting actor. They were in a field. Michael never got to know what Mark was trying to do or tell him on that day, because before he could do anything, Dark came crashing in, out of the blue, there was no pun, attacking him. After the actress caught perplexedness, the two stared at each other for a good minute. You, I did not expect you today. You don't deserve to expect. I will end your atrocious games, as I should have long time ago. Michael tried to get in between them, but with one single glance, Dark froze them to the spot. Dark picked up something from the floor, and by taking a closer look, Michael recognized it was an axe. Dark didn't hesitate to attack Mark. He didn't wait for him to prepare. This started as a charade of dodging until the actor landed a few punches and, just as miraculously, picked up a sword from the ground. It looked like straight out of space. Soon this escalated into a heavy fight. They hit, missed, used fists and kicks and blades, igniting fires of unknown sources around them, leaving them both wounded by their weapons, but neither was near giving up. Michael screamed at them, pleading them to stop, but of course, they were neither hearing nor listening. Eventually, Actor manages to disarm Dark, pushing him back and cornering him. After one more close dodging round, Dark manages to stun Mark by a good old punch in the nose in a second of distraction. He kicked Actor's sword away, and in one swift movement, caught it, bringing Mark to fall on the floor. Dark quickly towered him, tip of his sword, on Mark's face to keep him there. He was one blow away. Kill him. There we go. I have not posted this yet. This is elite information here. I'm so happy with this one. I love looking at this. And I made this first, then I build my story around this. And it's just so good. I'm just praising myself because it's cool. I love it. I will shut up for a second. I'm glad your heart is in your throat right now. I loved playing with the flames in the eyes. It was so fun drawing it. But he didn't. Surprising to Actor and not less surprising to Michael, Dark pulled back with a silent, I can't do it. His eyes were glowing blue. Dark dropped Actor's sword, turned away, and started walking off. Actor remained on the floor, looking at him, distancing himself. For a moment, it seemed like this would be the end of the situation. But the Actor bolts up, surges forward, grabbed the sword from the floor, and stabbed Dark from behind. Much to Mike's horror, Dark looked at him in what seemed genuine surprise before he collapsed on the floor, breathing shallowly. Michael's mind snapped open. Locked memories of space rotted at their iron box. He couldn't understand why he felt the shock, but he knew that he was not seeing the right thing. Actor left Dark there, ran up to Michael, bragged about how he killed the villain, showing Michael his black, bloody hands in triumph. But all Michael could do was cry. Mark's face showed very unconvincing happiness. They both heard a shallow shuffle, and they simultaneously took a look back. Except for the large puddle of black blood, there was no sign of Dark. He snuck away. Dark was still alive, and Michael cried even harder this time of relief. Mark's face, on the other hand, was undefinable. Breather, because I have to read what you have to say.
We're basically just screaming. You haven't missed much.
Nice. I'm glad. Good, I'm taking a gulp. Nice. Some things happen in between. I don't know what things, but there was the flashback incident. I posted this one fic I wrote once. It was basically just Michael getting into a flashback, like a scenario of just being in the city hall, bringing paperwork to Damien. And this was also realistic that he broke down crying and Damien comforted him. And at the end, he just saw Dark in the other end of the actual room where he was before the flashback happened. And that was the end of it, basically. In a very close by time, the flashback incident happens. This left Michael utterly devastated. Everything Doreen made him realize, just increasing clearness, rotting at his heart. His goal. He set himself the goal to make Dark rest, to make everyone rest, actually. To stop the actor, because that's where Michael assumed the core of the problem to lie. Little did he know that it didn't. In the meantime, Wilford returned to the physical manor, abandoned and left to rot. But the room in which mysterious people died was still in the same order. Damon's accessories, Celine's equipment, it was all there still. Wilford might not have lost his objection to physics, sorry. But he can't hide his sorrow away all the time, as we see in Wire. That's why I love Wire so much. His regret, his broken heart over losing his most important people, despite them being existent in a broken and suffering way. Not knowing why he came here, only that he clearly did not go there willingly, but of some reason not wanting to leave, or knowing what he should do, he lights a candle and sat there for a while. You know this one too, I posted this already. I'm integrating everything I have drawn into my story because we love visuals. Oh, so this is such a cool thing I came up with. I'm so proud of this one. Yeah, stay tuned. The Abyss. There's a crucial thing that Dark found when wandering around. Weakened by his slowly healing wounds, he was wandering around in the midst of a rocky, mountain-like place, trying to figure himself out. He never asked to be the villain, but yet, this was all he was born for. Three entities, bashed together against their will, having lost their personhood, had formed one that fit to neither of them. Sinking in thoughtless motion, he looked up at the starry night. There was a heap of black smoke flowing in the horizon, not out, but into the land. Dark didn't know why, but he started wandering towards it. For multiple hours, he was just walking, and he kept on using his feet, no teleportation, no flying, heaven knows why. After a long time, in which it's always been night, he arrived at the destination of the ropey smoke. A deep black, moving abyss, like a swamp made of living tar. Dark felt a strong repulse, a pull into the opposite direction, as soon as standing by its edge. The dark entity doesn't just let Mark do what it wants to do. It eats. The dark entity inside of Dark is feasting on the bond it has with Mark, on how Mark is thriving. That swamp is something like the entity's stomach. That's why it's repulsing from going any closer to it, to not devour itself and its vessel. Dark watched it for a long time, watched as huge chunks of dust flow along with the smoke, and the tar devoured them all. He didn't know how to feel, what to think, or what to do, but Damien had an idea devastating to him. Needing a moment to let this sink in, Dark put a hand in his pocket, pulling out something blue and shiny. He turned around, and within a split second, he returned to Celine's built-up forest, never knowing why he did this. The snow begins to fall. Because he wanted it to, very quickly, unnaturally quickly, it began to rise from the floor. The pink flower in the midst of the chopped-off trees is still there, remains there as the snow rises. Dark lets himself fall by the flower, and the warp crystal in his hand remained there for a long time. You know this one as well. Yeah. The scenarios keep occurring. Sometimes they don't. when everything is blurry and motionless, way back, for example, when Markiplier TV happened. But Michael's never able to speak to anybody outside of the actor's worlds. However, in regards of Doreen, Wilford, Dark, and Engineer himself, it seems to Michael that the actor doesn't really have full control over the stories he brought and brings into life anymore. The concept of time blurred and mangled the more this continued on. And Michael now more often finds himself in a sort of free roam through the interactive series, or just the void, more than an actual place of the actor. Even in those, Michael barely sees Mark anymore. He met characters sometimes who appear to live on the sceneries they came from, similar to a town being divided in free roaming sectors. There's one more thing Michael wanted to do with this. At one point, he returned to the same dark room the flashback happened, hoping to encounter Dark. And he did. All alone, he was standing in the darkness, on the far end of the room. That's where he was glowing in red and blue, outside of a play. And then their gazes met. Before Dark could run away, Michael called. If you know where Damien is, please tell him I miss him. Dark remained silent for a while, then shook his head. You don't, he answered. He's a broken one, like Celine. He's a weak soul, unlike Celine. Michael wanted to dispute, but he didn't want to waste time. He needed to say everything he could before Dark could escape the conversation, so he let the word just fall out of his mouth. You are both missed. You are both loved. I barely knew Celine, but I know how much she meant to people she knew. We are not forgotten one, Damien, and neither is Celine. Both of you deserve to rest, to be free as yourselves. You should give up, was what Dark replied, as I should have, a long time ago. Because you can, Michael just continued. We are no enemies. We are both trapped. We have to work together. No, Dark interrupted, glowing blue. You should have never been a part of this, ever. I will stop it all, alone. You chose me too. Dark's voice shifted, softened. Michael tried again. Damien? Dark ignored him. It's my fight to fight. If it's me he wants to slaughter, so shall be it. Wait, Michael interrupted again. If Damien is gone, Celine would never hesitate to bring Mark down, and that other thing wouldn't either. Then why did you not kill him when you had the chance? Dark was silent for a long few seconds until he said, You are the protagonist, Michael. You're on the good side. Remain there. And he was gone. Again. Leaving Michael desperate and overwhelmed. So yeah, this is a little space filler because the same stuff just keeps happening. A lot of scenarios, a lot of void. This feels like a little break in the build up because it gets crazier now. I wanted to put something less crazy in here, but I didn't manage to, so I just put this in here. He didn't anticipate for long. Michael searched for Wilford and found him in a very dusty, empty studio during his free roam. Wilford greeted and was asking him something, but Michael wasn't listening. A few minutes passed before Wilford actually noticed that. Michael told him about his encounter with Dark. Wilford, however, only shrugged. Damien is too careful to bring himself into danger, he said. Also, Celine would never let him do something stupid, not even in her sleep. That's the thing, Michael continued. I don't think Celine knows. That's when the showdown was announced. Without audio, without a visual. It was in their heads, letting them know simultaneously. Wilford looked surprised, an expression Michael almost never saw in him. Without understanding how, Michael knew where to go. Follow me. The finale. Ooh, new sector. Up high in the mountains, Dark and actor arrived and stood face to face. You came, the actor laughed. Didn't know you'd dare again. You didn't give me a choice, Dark responded. You never did. The actor rose his sword he kept from last time. Your final chance to gain them back, then. Dark didn't have a weapon. They didn't lose time with talking this time. The fight was more intense and fierce than the last one was at any point. Dark and Actor were an indistinguishable fight of blows, fire, punches, and blades of blood and screams and hatred. They blocked out everybody else from interfering. The fleshy revived Michael and, well, Wilford too. Well, the freshly alive Michael was screaming at Dark to let him in, Wilford hammering and swearing at the invisible force holding them back. There were other characters scattered in the far, but the fighting pair was too far up to hear or care. You will chicken away, like the last time, the Actor called, Dark barely dodging his blade. You are weak, like Damien. Maybe you were the wrong option after all, my old friend. For a second, they halted and seemed to have a sinister staring contest. Then Dark started running. He ran into the opposite direction, limping but ignoring it. The Actor took that in with a vicious laugh. I knew it. It should have been vicious, not victorious. I'm sorry. I knew it. His sword held ready, he followed the villain who seemed to give up in fear. For a long time, they sprint, jump, even fly. Michael and Wilford followed them from the far in fear of what will happen. On the edge of a high cliff, surrounded by ropey smoke heading downwards, Dark slowed down. The victorious Actor didn't hesitate. He reached him, ready to strike him down, and that's where Dark clawed his hands into Mark's collar and surged down the cliff with him. While still repulsing on Dark, on the other hand, the Abyss tugged strongly on the Actor, who Dark was not letting go of. They were both falling, the Actor fell faster. The higher the Abyss's repulse got on Dark, the more he needed the Actor to be pulled downwards. Dark started to glow more red and blue with every inch, sharp pain falling all over him. So they fell until the Abyss was almost there, almost touchable. That's when Dark scraped together all of his final powers, and with what seemed like a small explosion, thrusted the Actor off of him, pushed him away from the Abyss, away from the hungry entity, late enough for the verve to give him enough possibility to keep falling, while the Actor landed back on the edge of the cliff. Confused and frightful, Michael and Wilford watched at what was happening. They didn't understand what they were seeing. All the way they assumed that Dark intended to fall into death with the Actor. Why did he push Mark back into safety? In the brink of the last moment, a big red light came shooting out of the falling Dark, landing in the valley outside of the vicious swamp. While the blue light continued to fall, a black aura surrounding it, falling with it. Michael knew it was Damien. Damien kicked Celine out, kicked her out of Dark Cloud to keep her from falling with him. He didn't intend to kill the Actor, he intended to kill the entity. The blue glowing Damien disappeared in the tower black, and the Abyss rumbled, sparked, then exploded. Everything was bright, loud, and confusing. For a while, it remained that way. A strong growl, an unmistakable sinister aura spreading and slowly fading off. As the explosion fades with it, the ejected Celine, bringing her attire from the woods, because I say so, arose from the floor. She was shimmering in red, but the shimmer was slowly replaced by a fleshly human appearance. Too much skip. There you go. I probably don't have to explain how it went as Wilford and Celine saw each other after the haze of the confusion and stun. They reunited in an unbelieving emotional deep hug. I thought you'd carve my heart out once you see me. Oh, I will. But not now. Not now. When they part, they start to recollect what just happened. Wilford turned his head. Wait. What happened there? Where's Damien? As Celine gathers herself again, her face turns into blank horror. They both see Michael running towards the now empty hole in the ground. It is not as deep as the gooey abyss made it look like. Michael slid down, desperately searching for Damien. Will and Celine followed him right away. Quickly, Michael found Dark's body. It was not glowing, not glitching, just gray, falling apart in shambles. No sign of the entity, and no sign of Damien. He urged forward, propped up the body, shouted Damien's name, pleaded for him to be still there in the body, the cave, or anywhere really. As no response came and Dark's body crumbled in his arms to vaporize for good, Michael just sat there, his face in his hands, crying, having lost the person he wanted to reunite with. The person he loved so dearly, the person he has missed for so long, the same one who now died with the entity to save his sister, to save William, to save Michael, and to save Mark. Michael's falling apart so hard he doesn't notice Celine and William by his side, hugging each other, crying not an ounce less than him. Damien used Mark to be able to lead the entity into self-destruction. Then he threw him off into safety, and then Celine. Damien used himself as the vessel to keep it from fleeing. He went in so the entity would devour itself. That's what the abyss is gone. The entity is dead. Its grip on
I
the
hate to
people is
say
gone.
it, but we're having a frames issue again, I think.
Damn it.
Okay.
It's dead. Its grip on the people is gone. They remained sitting there as a heap of grief, rage, and pain. Words started to fall from them all on how they could have helped, how they could have prevented this from happening in the first place. Nobody remembered who said what, who thought what. It was as if it consumed them all from inside out. Breather. Chat. You know me. You know what I keep saying. I would never let Damien die, what the fuck. Until after a while, a figure emerged from the remaining vapor, limping, coughing, but there, shimmering in blue, slowly turning to human looking. Longer brown hair, pale skin, a jacket and black jeans on. It was Damien. Now that reunion took longer than the destructive grief in the beginning. The longest was the tight group hug. Wilford praised his bravery, Celine scolded his foolishness, and Michael kissed him over and over, whispering how much he loves him, how much he missed him. Together they emerged from the hole, loud cheers surprising them from all around in the far. A lot of old friends and acquaintances came to greet them and express how happy they were, everyone's okay. Damien feels extreme guilt over everything he did as Dark, and his trauma is no smaller than the trauma of the others. All of them suffered the consequences of what happened. Damien and Michael will work on themselves together. They both hurt each other severely in the actors' worlds. But now they're as themselves as they could be, again. No role forced upon them anymore. Now they take their relationship in hand again. They still love each other deeply and are now finally capable of thinking rationally enough to move on. Just like that, they can take their future existences in hand. And fan art. Fluff. We need fluff. And a chart. I thought this was quite interesting to give Will just a little less pink on his mustache, so that everyone has a little different look on himself. Yeah. So as you see, there's a little creepletonic arrow between Will and Damien. I thought that since there's a little dark stash in my canon, and Damien was at the front as I see it, he would have fallen for Damien's side at some point. Maybe not romantically, but why not creepletonically? And I think I like the idea of former lovers being friends, not as a degradation of the former relationship, but just as another form of it. Like, just as deep as it was before, it's just another type of relationship. And that's what I imagine to happen between Celine and Will. They're friends, but at the same closeness when they were lovers, if you understand what I'm saying. And of course, the two are twins again. They never stop being twins. Often they meet the other characters from the actors' former worlds. They meet Abe and Ben sometimes. The engineer Mark, the version of him who is clearly Atari himself, who's not played by anybody. It took them all a while to grasp what happened. It turns out that Celine and Damon aren't as separate as they were before Dark occurred. Only the entity is gone who kept them glued together. Their forced unwanted sharing of an unstable body is gone, but they appear to have telepathic forces remained. Some part of dark is still there. Some part of the physical juncture turned metaphysical. They learned how to deal with it, as it turns out to be a very cool superpower, which is a fine outcome given the circumstances. The circumstances are already made. They all lost their mortality, their bond to the laws of time and space, their former lives. But they wouldn't fit in the regular world anymore. That time was over. They have a world that's fitting for them now. How terrible the reasons of creation may have been, they can use what's already there, live with the other hundreds of characters that turned people and people who turn into characters. It's almost like the original world. Sometimes when they miss it, they can play pretend, and nothing is stopping them from visiting the real deal every now and then. The entity is gone, its influence can now be slowly built down, step by step. You can now work on their traumas, catch up on what they have missed, and rebuild their existence. After time passed, they, encouraged by a deeply concerned Benjamin, agreed on searching for Mark. Now you may wonder, what did happen to Mark anyway? This is a valid question because I have no idea. I know that he is alive and that the entity has no longer a grip on him, so he is basically just him at this point. But I have not thought of what happens next. At least not yet. Maybe tomorrow what I just said is wrong already. Well, thanks so much for listening. I have my sources right here because I'm so professional. And this is the end. I will be now looking at the chat. You can turn on the chat bot if you want.
Oh yeah, TTS is coming on. Let's see if this works.
Me when I have feelings. Me when I'm sad.
Nice, nice. Oh, 300 messages. Peeps. How am I supposed to read it all?
I thought you were reading them as you went.
Good luck catching up on that. It's just a bunch of screaming for the most part.
Yeah, most of it is just, yeah. Sad emojis are all caps.
I've read some of this. Why is it still marked as a new message?
Sometimes if you click on and off or you scroll, sometimes it'll go away.
Okay.
I'm so excited to see if TTS is working.
I think
Exactly.
Miller Purple Heart said, "That was amazing. I can feel my blood in my veins. Tears in my eyes. I can't feel my pulse. That was beautiful."
Thanks so much.
Can you usually feel your pulse?
Of course you can feel your pulse. You just have to
Yes.
put a finger onto
what
your...
the fuck? Okay, but like if you're just sitting here, usually
just
like
conscious
Miller, are
of
you
your
saying
pulse, like another sense?
Because that sounds fucked
Does it
up.
count? Like, is heartbeat technically also pulse?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I feel my heartbeat when I like try to feel it. So
when you're
what
just
Miller
like
said
sitting here.
Miller just did a little check on themselves to make sure they're still alive.
Anyway, I'm derailing.
No heartbeat
Go
was
on.
happening. My breathing got so shallow.
Genuinely,
Thanks so much. I'm happy.
This
I'm
storyline,
happy.
so rude. It's so emotional. It made me feel so many things. I feel
Astral
so
Wreck ringed planet, Michael said. Thanks, SM.
I forgot
Colon,
I was
comma.
also.
I know, right? It's everybody.
I forgot I was also being yeah.
Oh my god,
Nice.
there were questions that I had, but then we got to the end after the big finale, and I was like, I'm destroyed. I don't remember what they were.
Lycoris Radiata said, "The whole timeline was incredible. I loved every moment of it."
Thanks so much. I'm happy. I've not been in the fandom for all too long. I think it's been a little under a year. And most of the ideas came when I created the PowerPoint. And the idea with the Abyss was literally a week ago. I was like, oh my god, I have an idea. Let me do this.
Yeah,
and then it turned out to be super cool.
Cool. Like they get digested. Oh, that's fucking. I think it's so cool. Like the idea of how, because knowing that you'd planned an end, I was like, I cannot imagine how this would end, because I just kind of picture it as going on forever. And I love how you did it. It's so like freaky.
We love freaky.
Yeah.
That being said, the true end is, if they're alive, technically it's not an end.
The end is never the end.
But-
It's never the end.
Yes, exactly. Yes,
It's the end of my presentation, not the end of it.
You just keep writing for years and years and years. Like they're
Yeah.
doing taxes and shit.
Doing taxes and shit. Yeah.
Miller Purple Heart said, I loved how post WKM you really embraced the dreamlike state that everything in canon is in. Time and place aren't concrete.
Yes, thank you, because I think it's not being like used a lot, because this circumstance is actually so crazy and angsty. It needs to be used more, like the post Google Markiplier things, like the post cinematic things, because it's all just so freaky and unclear. That's why I said it's 200 plus years, because it could have felt like 10 years for them.
that's so much time. That's so much time to be.
Just like in limbo.
That's why they have no reason
Yeah.
to return into the normal like world, because what do they miss there?
Yeah.
Everything's gone, like, you know?
Yeah.
The world they knew doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Except for the
had
manor.
said, like, guys, my brain isn't working. I said
No,
a couple
me too.
times.
There were
chat,
so many
there are-
emotions so fast.
There are themes that, like, you get the vibes. You have the vibes. That's my bottom. You have
Yeah.
the vibes.
I loved how you visualized your interpretation of the timeline, like the sewing needle that you did, the sewing needle vibe. So cool. I think that's such a cool way to illustrate that, because I don't know how I would have tried to do that.
Thanks, I wasn't sure, but it did end up looking cool.
Yeah, it looks sick, and it's a very clear way to like show what you're talking about.
My mouth is so dry, oh my god.
I know you had to do so much talking. You did great.
And thank you. I got a little more comfortable at the end.
Yeah. I would have been choking like the entire time.
That's why I paused so often.
Miller
because
Purple
I had to
Heart
hold back a
said,
choke.
the visuals in this, including your art and the charts, really helped the immersion.
Thanks. I did it not only to help visualizing, but also to brag. But yeah,
Extremely valid.
Beautiful. I think that's the other thing I was gonna say, is that the charts, like the relationship charts, so helpful, and they really, I think Cad said it at one point, or Miller, it really showed like how isolating it really was.
Yeah,
And how
'cause that's-
slowly, like how everything fell apart. Like it's devastating.
Yeah, because that's a core theme. Oh, and the one thing I didn't say in the chat, because I didn't have enough to. Oh, let me find scrolling. I'm bad at being online, even though it's everything I've done for 15 years.
No,
Where the hell
straight
did
up.
I say this? Oh, yes. Like the idea, and I said this when I originally blogged your comic about the whole Damien is dead comic. Like, so, like the name, like we were talking about, like the name Darkiplier. Like in my vibes, like that's part of it, right? Like the name Darkiplier is based on the name Markiplier. It's like something that's being
Oh.
it's something that's being forced on them.
Yeah.
It's like the role of the villain. That's like like a way that they are not able to define their own existence, a way that their very existence and personhood is being defined by the actor. So yep. Big brain.
Yep.
I
brain
totally
moves.
forgot. How did I somehow
Exactly.
forget that Darkiplier is a play on Markiplier? Like that's so perfect. Like what?
How did you forget that? That's literally the same word,
I
but with
don't know.
another
I think it's because I just
starting
refer
letter.
to him as Mark all the time, and then Darkiplier to me just sounds like a word. Like it doesn't.
Mhm.
Like it just sounds like a name. Like I forget that it's like
Yeah.
a plier.
Wait, okay. So do your characters in your canon call him Dark?
They don't use
They
the
don't
name.
refer to him.
No, like it calls him Damien sometimes when he thinks, like for example in the comic I mentioned above, but like Dark doesn't call himself Dark.
Mhm.
There's no reason to call yourself Dark when you don't have an own personhood. So
Mhm,
yeah,
mhm,
they just
mhm.
don't use names, except for William sometimes.
They're just like, yeah, that guy over there. You
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think characters
the
that don't
spooky
have
person.
names or like can't use names, I think it's so interesting and like what that would imply for the character. Like imagine not having a name. Like that's so
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
interesting.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Especially
yeah.
since
I,
their
I,
identity and personhood is already so fucked up because they're so like entangled with each other and not even having a
and that makes
name to
it
unite them. Like what?
exactly. That makes it very thematically relevant.
And I
I'm
think it's
really
cool that Mark did not fix, like in quotes, like fix that issue,
Yeah, that makes
because
more
it
sense now.
just
Yeah.
makes it more tragic. Because we call him Dark because we don't have another like name for this person,
Oh my
and
God,
for
it's
I'm
this
interesting.
entity.
sick. I'm sick.
It's interesting because I only like there are people who call Dark Damien or like have um the characters in Dark's life call Dark Damien or whatever.
Right.
But like
That's not really like that's not how it should be because it's not Damien
Yeah.
Damien.
yeah,
That's
I agree
not
with you. I
yeah.
think it's interesting though that more that I haven't seen anyone give Dark a different name. Be like, oh, this is John now.
I
I
haven't
haven't
seen
seen
that
anyone
either.
Considering
do
too, but
that.
nah.
Because like people come up with headcanon last names and
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff. I haven't seen anybody do that with Dark.
I liked the
No,
last name
same.
that you came up with, Astral. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because I just analyzed it. So like Doreen has the same like phonetic ending as
Yeah.
Celine, so we'll just take the beginning of Whitaker and make it a last
I
name.
should I should put
Literally.
my name derivations as a bonus slide in my slide deck.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I cannot wait to compare and contrast because my timeline is so.
Yeah.
I was a little worried going like almost last, like after at least I knew because I knew yours was like on the timeline. I'm not sure if anybody else did. I was a little worried. I'm like, oh shit, like what if like some things are the same and like people
They're
think
not
I'm
gonna be.
copying it. Not even remotely. Not even remotely.
Oh,
I
that's
was
so
not worried about
interesting.
anything being the same.
It just goes to goes to speak to how the canon is and like where the story leaves us and how open ended it is. Like we all get to just it's not just a playground. We just get to bonk our Barbie dolls together. You
Yeah.
know.
Mm.
No, and it's like there was a couple things during the course of this presentation that I was like, damn, this is just like in space with Markiplier, like on a meta level. Cause like, yeah, it's like you can derive an entirely different path to get to the same point, the events of Who Killed Markiplier.
Yeah. Like it's just a big
Mm.
everyone like has their own interpretations of it and then it funnels down
Yeah, yeah,
into
yeah, 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 yeah.
into
Into
the
the same
short. It's the same
event.
with like you can have all these different paths in space and it funnels down into the warp
To the
course.
same
Yeah.
yeah, or thinking about like part one where it's all going back to the
Yeah.
countdown even.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mm.
anyway, so that's how this felt in real life right now.
It's so
I'll take this
fascinating.
as a compliment.
Yeah. And like I love how much detail you put into everything and it was so crazy like seeing the relationships get slowly built up like as you were talking about from like their birth and
And then
as the
broken back
relationships
down.
got more complicated knowing where we were going to end up like
The
fucking
feeling of
actor
dread I experienced, the feeling of dread and
literally
distress I was experiencing cannot
like
be understated.
as soon as actor and Michael met and I was like oh okay and then I was like wait they're gonna be like
Uh-huh.
hosting adventures together and like it's gonna be so like
It's gonna get
toxic
fucked
like
up.
oh my god what happened
Wait,
to
is
The
the
bot
TT?
bot
doesn't
is
read.
the bot broken?
The bad.
Okay, Miller, I'm gonna read this for you because what the hell happened? We could all do timelines and they'd be completely different because canon is a blueprint with a few key details, but literally everything else is so insanely open-ended that it just depends on what kind of story you want to tell. And the story that was just told is so specific that only you could think of it. Yes.
Yes,
Literally.
that's why I never was scared of anything being the same, because like when I hear people saying like small details about their own timelines, I would have never come up with that. And certain things just, even if they are similar, they end up leading to another thing. And like this universe is so crazy. There's
Yeah.
no way anyone is going to make like two universes that are so similar that it could be the same one. I think we don't have to worry about that.
Watching Who Killed Markiplier is like only getting the last chapter of a book. And like you
Yeah,
can just like
yeah.
build anything up till that point, but like Who Killed Markiplier is all of their like integrated relationships and everything like absolutely hitting the fan, and like everything exploding, and like we get clues. It's so fascinating. I love it so much.
True, and also the not only the before is very open, but the after as well.
Yeah. It's like the
It's
middle. It's
cool.
the last chapter in the first book in a series of books.
Exactly. Oh my god.
Exactly.
It's so interesting because Who Killed Markiplier has such a specific vibe to it, such a specific feeling. Like it only feels fitting that like it's the start of everything and it's what we got, because immediately into like date and heist and space, like it feels completely different, which works so well with like the idea that that was like the real world, quote unquote, and then now they're in this like
Mhm.
completely different existence. It's so fascinating.
Kenna, I feel like you have to do one on your timeline because I've said this to you before. I know it really seems like your timeline is that you have an interpretation that differs significantly, and I want to hear more about it.
That's
so
so
you
interesting because
so
I don't
you
know,
have
like,
to do a timeline.
I don't have a lot of details and stuff. Maybe I'll do that for next PowerPoint nights because I'm
Okay, yeah, but
like it's like you said, like for me, like my interpretation of it, it's so easy to forget that that's not just like canon and what everyone
oh
experiences.
god, real.
So I imagine like going to write everything down, I'd just be like, yeah, and then you guys would be like, what? And I'd be like, oh.
No, but like Astral said, it's really like doing the presentation is really interesting because it
Yeah.
forces you to at least think about the gaps, and then
Yeah.
like we were talking about in the chat, you have the choice to be like, okay, do I want to sit down and fill in this gap right now, or do I want to just
Yeah. Is this a
save it
problem
for
for
later?
current me
Just
or
move
future
on.
me? Like,
Yeah.
no, that'd be fun. I hope
Like-
I hope you guys being the brave pioneers of like talking about your timeline, I hope a lot more of us do it for whenever we do
This
another
is-
round.
All I have thought about for the last like 5 going on 6, my 6-year anniversary is coming up in
Oh my god.
my fandom anniversary is the 10th of November, okay? We're almost at 6 years.
How the fuck do you
Crazy
remember
shit.
that?
Because it was 4 days before Unisanis started. That's how I remember
Oh,
it.
there you
Crazy
go.
shit.
I
I miss
and-
Unosanos.
Oh yeah, me too. If anything, I would probably consider my start to be space. Even though I mean I watched Mark since then, but the introduction into the Egoverse was
It was so 0 to 100, and that's probably why it clicked so hard, because like if Unisanis hadn't started 4 days after I got here, it probably would not have been as dramatic anyway. So this is
Yeah.
all I've thought about for almost 6 years. So giving me an excuse to do a PowerPoint about it, very exciting.
I'm so excited. It still feels like we've kind of just started. Is this only week 2?
I
Or is
think
this
so.
week
I
3?
think so.
No, this is week 2.
Oh my god. We have
There
so
were
many
2 in
still to
1
go.
week.
I'm so excited.
Like this is amazing. I've wanted this for so long to just yap about my hyperfixation, about how I feel
literally.
about it, and people listening, people understanding me.
And we showed up willingly to listen. In real life,
Yeah.
I would
It's
I have
crazy.
I have done the okay, sit down in this chair, you're not leaving until I'm done explaining Who Killed Markiplier to you.
Yeah.
They don't like that very much. I've done it to
Literally.
a couple of people. They don't like
Miller
it very
Purple
much.
Heart
Mood.
said, "We're living the fandom dream right now."
It
Real.
decided to work.
Absolutely.
Literally, like getting to share. I did so. Okay, the part of how this all started was I did a PowerPoint night with my family, like a few of my family members, for Halloween last year, and
really?
I broke down Who Killed Markiplier and like explained it to them.
Oh yeah,
And-
you said it once. Yeah.
Yeah, and like it ended up taking 4 fucking ever, and they were trying so hard to be like, like, wait, so what happened? Like, what happened to? I don't remember who they said, but they were like, what happened to this one? And I was like, I don't fucking know. Like, I have no idea.
I don't fucking know. Stop
I don't
asking.
know. Mark doesn't know.
Frankly, it's none
Your
of my
guess
business.
is as good as mine.
No, it's so good, and it's so fun to like just have the space to be so like excited about something and know that everyone else is just as excited as you. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, because even if we don't agree on everything, we understand each
Yeah.
other because we know
Yeah.
what hyperfixation does.
And I don't think anyone it'd be crazy to me if anyone in this fandom, but especially in this Discord, like is annoyed or like frustrated by other people's interpretations. Like, it's so open-ended. How could
Well,
you
but it's
possibly-
really cool because you can
Yeah,
build, because
exactly.
like there's certain things, interpretations that are out there that are really cool, and it's like, well, that's not self-consistent with the other stuff I'm trying to do with mine. That doesn't make it less valid. That's just, you can only do so many things and still have a self-consistent
Yeah.
interpretation. So that's why it's
so
cool
good.
to hear other people's, where it's like you've chosen other what would be the word? You chosen other building blocks, you know, to as
Things
your
to
base.
focus on. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's, I think, what goes into, like you were saying, like the fact that the end products are going to be so different for everybody, even though we're starting from the same canon. It's the pieces you're choosing to prioritize, and then just the individual creativity, like Miller said, like there's concepts that just aren't going to come out of every brain.
Yeah, and it's the same thing of like
Absolutely.
not only with PowerPoint nights do we get to like blab about whatever we want to blab about, but then also like we get entertainment. Like we get to sit here and I get to listen to people
Enrichment
talk
for
about
my
ego content.
enclosure.
Literally, like little snacks and drinks, and I get to hear about the timeline from Astral's perspective, and like there's gonna be so many fun PowerPoints. Some of them, like, I know the secret topics, obviously. So I'm like so excited. I'm assuming
this is
that
so awesome.
I think it's that the TTS bot won't speak if someone's already speaking, maybe.
I don't know.
But I
It's
didn't do that
insulted.
last time.
Maybe it's a length. Maybe well, no one was speaking last time. We were all on mute. Maybe it's a length thing. Maybe it has a cap set.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, let's see. See, my mom just can't follow elaborate plots and got frustrated with the marks used, so I have no one IRL to talk to about this. So I love being in the server. I love seeing everyone's ideas because they're clearly influenced by our own life experiences. Yeah, and what we each want in a story. Yeah, you get it.
Hey, don't look too closely at what I probably.
Yeah,
That's
it's
so
like
true.
that thing of like
If you're looking with an eye to that.
yeah, it's like your writing will reveal more to you than like your dearest friends do. Like,
For real, yeah.
This is so true.
Yeah.
No, I strapped my sister down, Ghost. Obviously now it's a little more confusing because we have Ghost and Ghosty, but I'll strap her down and like make her watch stuff. Like the other day, I was like, okay, this detail in space, and she's like, I think you're overestimating how much I know and remember in space. And then I was like, okay, sit down.
You gotta watch it again.
Yeah.
You didn't watch closely enough the first time, clearly.
I know, you should have strapped in, like, gotta lock in.
Take notes this time, and we won't have to do it again.
We have to like
This is your fault,
glue her
actually,
eyelids
like-
open.
Oh my god, it's so good. No, yeah. I'm
But,
so
like,
excited.
what
I
I'm
loved
scared
your timeline, Astral.
Oh, thank you. I love it too. Actually, it's quite crazy. Half of it was like created last week
Yeah,
in a heap of.
literally.
Oh my god! This is so cool. I can add it too. But yeah, what I'm actually kind of scared of, putting so much effort and like emotional, like investment into a timeline increases the danger of being extremely sad when like there just needs to be
Real.
one piece of canon added that just
That's-
destroys everything.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why I'm scared of thinking too much about the ending, which like I kind of like I have an ending kind of in the murky recesses of my mind, right? But I'm a little afraid. Not only I'm afraid because Mark could fuck it up if he decided to, but
Yeah.
you know, fuck that guy.
Who cares what he says?
But also it makes me sad And I don't want it
Yeah.
to end. Okay, I like them. I want to play in the fun times forever.
For me, a space is the end. Like, we don't get a lot of concrete answers, but like the feeling of it and the feeling of like we never
Cadmium
get to
that's what
Sparkles
Mark
Heart
said.
Suit Blue
Oh,
Heart
God.
sent an
Oh,
image
God.
file and said carrot this
Fuck.
meme, but me for
Shit.
mayor attorney.
Fuck.
I didn't realize that was you for some reason. I thought it was Miller. So when you
No,
were
that was
swearing,
me.
I was like, wait, what's wrong?
I
that
forgot about the
word.
text message spot. Anyway, so it wasn't the fact that someone was talking. It must be cutting off the length of a message.
Yeah, it must be. You would think that it would just say what it could and then stop, but no. Unless it just hates Miller for some reason.
It might be a setting. Like, it might be a setting in the bot configuration
Oh,
to limit
maybe.
spam. I saw
gotta
something
take a
about.
closer look at it.
Anyway, who did I accidentally cut off when I accidentally the meme?
I don't think I understand what the meme is saying.
I don't
So
get it either. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's like a fangirl meme, and like these are like, so it's like this picture of this girl, but then like the meme is you edit it and you make it look like she's like holding a bunch of merch or like that there's like posters in the background for the thing you like. So like somebody made a distractible meme. Let me see if I can find that one because that one will make more sense. Because I have no idea what these are. This is just the first example I found on.
Oh, copy. I thought it was like
strong.
stages or something. Like I thought all three mattered, and I was like, I don't
No.
understand. Like,
here's the know your
these
meme
fandoms.
link. Oh no, never mind. This isn't working. Hold on. Here's the know your meme link so you can learn about the meme and find the distractible version. Meme education
Cadmium
with cadmium.
Sparkles Heart Suit Blue Heart said
Oh no.
a link.
Oh. We were all
I
just
thought
like,
it was about to
uh-oh.
read the link.
Oh my god, no, I don't remember what we were saying. Oh, that space to me is the end. Like the feeling that we never get to see the planet and it's all just left open-ended, and like engineer doesn't like address anything directly. You just kind of get the vague sense that he does know what's going on, which like, oh, it just gets so deep. Oh my god.
Yeah.
A link.
That's why I like the idea of like engineer existing independently of Mark after the entity is gone, because it's just another like person to me. And I didn't want the characters to just vanish after the story ended, so I just had a solution that they keep existing as
and that makes
regular
so much
people.
sense. Like the idea too that actor is like purged from NG, like through the warp core and everything, and the loop stop, and then it's just NG. Something like that could be really interesting too.
Yeah.
Here, let me read what Miller said. I think what makes this, I don't think it likes you, Miller. Maybe I said the role wrong, but I think I had heard you say something before.
It's definitely the length of the messages.
Give me like one word or something, Miller. I want to test it.
Homophobic bot.
Okay, perfect.
Told you.
Okay, the first message though says, I think what makes this canon special is that we fully embrace death of the author. Yeah, literally. So if Mark does something that we don't like, we just reject it and go with what we want, because Mark is just being silly and bullying us half the time, and no one knows what he's doing, least of all him, so anything goes if we decide it makes sense for our outline, our timeline. Literally,
homophobic bot.
Yeah, I don't know, I don't remember what I was gonna say. Oh, does anyone remember if there was actually something hidden in Jump In Again? This is so unrelated, but like in terms of him bullying us.
No, he was making that up.
Didn't he? Was he bullying us?
Yeah, he said that. Yeah, he was joking. There's only like, I think there's 3 or 4 Jump In Again videos, but like
it's the same link and everything.
And what's crazy to me is people really tried and went look at, like, guys, look at the URL. It's the same video.
Yeah, it's so fucking weird. And the thing is like this fandom is really good at finding things, but like he's just so mean. He's bullying us.
He doesn't like us.
This is so funny. He's not a masochist. He's a sadist because he loves bullying us.
If he loved us, he would give us a
Miller Purple Heart said, he likes to lie to us and send us on wild goose chases because he knows we trust him and will look for it.
I don't trust him.
Oh, that reminds me of that one snippet from Distractable. I don't remember the episode where they were like very mean about fans wanting to hear more of Dark and more of the cinematic universe, and they were like, maybe one of the cops make you pull up they're actually Darkiplier because the blue and the red light. Like it's
Literally.
He's mean.
and like
He doesn't
shut
like
up.
us.
Well, it's the same thing
God
too.
damn it.
It's because like the details that he's so specific about are so like random. Like I get why like when we Captain like spawn in at the beginning of Space 2,
Mhm.
like how we're Stan's kid and we're wearing like those gloves and tights. Like he just said that it was like all they had, but like you didn't have black? Like what do you mean two colors?
No,
Like
no,
that
no.
feels so specific.
No. Yeah. Because that's so my recollection of what he said about that was like that's just communicating like ambiguous gender, right?
Ah.
Like because I feel like I got it in line. I'm like, oh yeah, it's like a bit because they didn't want to show the hands because the whole thing is the captain is supposed to be anybody, and unlike in Heist when they solved that by having a bunch of different actors play the viewer character, the captain was wearing gloves, so this was just the only time they had to do something else, and he was like, oh well, we're gonna do one pink sock and one blue sock to not indicate, so we'll just do one on the hands too, which made that totally didn't even occur to me as weird until in the explanation stream people were asked. I was like, oh yeah, I just figured that's what was going on. Like yeah.
I remember thinking it was a little weird, but not thinking much of it because again, I wasn't super in the fandom yet, so I didn't have that brain to be like, what does it mean? Like, but until I watched GT Live play it. Their playthrough of Space is really interesting.
That's wholesome. That's like creators
like,
supporting creators.
Literally, I remember them being like, "That's an interesting choice."
That's weird because I don't know. It just made sense. Like yeah, they don't want to show a skin color, and they want to indicate that this is supposed to be a child of indeterminate gender, and those are the two colors we use to gender children. So
yeah, that makes sense too. Like another good example of that is when we're glitching through at the beginning of Space 2 and like you're walking through the opening again, but everything's like wrong. Angie has this line where he's like always remembers it's father.
Yeah.
Matt and whoever he was playing with, I think it was also a Matt. I think there's two Matts. They were both like
Matts.
Yeah, they were like they were like, oh, that feels weird. It's a weird emphasis. But then one of them, I think the Matt behind the camera was like, I think that's just supposed to be creepy for creepy's sake. And they like couldn't super agree on it. But I immediately clocked that as like, oh, it's just spooky. Like,
yeah, that's just a spooky, creepy version of the. Dude, I'm really excited.
I don't really say a lot of things because I have to admit I only watched Space once.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, really? Were you at our watch party?
What did you say? Did you if you talked at the same time?
Ked, go ahead. You said something.
I asked, were you at like the server watch party?
No. I missed the first two. I was I think Who Markiplier was the first one I joined.
Yeah, because we did them in like reverse order. We'll do one soon because we were talking about recording the watch parties at some point. So we would have to go back and do another round of them. We'll probably do another PowerPoint night before we do another round of watch parties. But we were gonna do Edge of Sleep next, I think.
Oh yeah.
We should probably do Edge of Sleep between PowerPoint rounds. Not at all saying this because I'm gonna need way more time. Because literally, I am not getting through Who Killed Markiplier. I'm gonna
Miller
get through
Purple Heart said, "Edge of Sleep, my beloved."
Through Who Killed Markiplier, but then I can't try to get any further. I'd have to quit my job, so it's gonna have to wait.
No, and also it does make sense too. We'll do Edge of Sleep, and I still want to try to figure out the roleplay event, and then once we do that, then we'll probably do another round of PowerPoint.
I will keep working on mine in the meantime, so that at that point I will actually be done.
Oh yeah, no, I still haven't even started mine. I did the title card, and then that's it so far.
I do not recommend doing this because when you rush everything at the end, it's going to be less good than when you rush everything at the beginning of the work time.
Rush them equal amounts, but just start sooner. Like
yes, because you have more time to fix your rush mistakes when you rush
that's so true. That's so true.
Big brain.
I did have to take a break this weekend though, because I had like IRL, actual real life shit to do. But I'm going on vacation next week, and that's why I might miss some of the ones next weekend and the weekend after, depending on what's going on. Because I'll be on vacation. But that also means I'll have time to work on it there when I'm like not home and can't work on the stuff that's like at my house. So like I had to shift my priorities.
No, and that makes sense too. I'm trying to figure out, I want to do face cam, but I was trying to figure out the best way to do that. I think my desk has barely enough room to put my fucking TV on it. If I were less stubborn, I would just move my monitor over here. But I like have a TV over there, and I think it can fit on my desk, because I have like an L desk. So I think I could be gesturing to the TV with my PowerPoint on it.
Why do you have to move your TV? Can you not just film the TV on where it is?
Because I'd have to like stand up, and I would be really far away from my computer. Like it's across the room.
So then if something blew up, you wouldn't know about it.
Yeah, and it would be hard to see chat and everything versus like being at my computer, but there's just a monitor that's like behind me basically. But if all else fails, I'll just scooch. I have 2 monitors. I'll just scooch one over.
I have to do a tech test run because I have one video already. We have to detour to look at a primary source real quick.
Hell yeah.
I'm really afraid also, you guys, my presentation, I'm afraid it's gonna feel like you're in class, and
but that's so fun though.
I'm afraid
my presentation literally has sources at the end.
Mine has sources.
It's not going to be more schooly than mine.
Prepare yourself.
Did I just challenge you?
It's already there. You'll see what I mean.
Good.
No, I'm so
No, that's
excited.
part of the fun. I think
Miller
so
Purple Heart
like
said, "Pop
presentation.
quiz at the end."
Don't give me ideas, Miller.
I should really do like some kind of voting system or something for mine at the end. I don't know. I'm so excited to make y'all mad. I really hope I do.
Oh, but wait a second. I remember I have one last thing here, but I don't know if you will see it because this is the last slide and I cannot do back and forth.
Let me pull up. I left the stream, so I'm going back. I can't see anything yet, but it's loading. Song to mention.
Yes, exactly. So, I just thought this was a very fancy like credits song when the film ends. This is a very this song is not even on YouTube. Okay, it's not on YouTube or Spotify or anywhere.
Well, how do we? Hear it?
Yeah, I want to listen to it.
I want to.
You can Google it if you like indie, like soft indie music. You might like it. This is the credits song from a very popular old like German film series based on an even older book. It's an English song, but like it was from there. I think it was made for it even. And yeah, it's very, very pretty. And I think it just fits very well from the vibe.
Maybe if one of us can
therefore, you just have to Google it because it's literally not anywhere on stream.
Yeah, because I want to hear this.
It's here we go. It's mentioned.
Is it on SoundCloud here? I think I found it on SoundCloud. Is this it?
Why did I not think of sharing a link? I just came.
Cadmium Sparkles Heartsuit Blue Heart said, "A link."
Sign in or create an account.
I'm gonna play this for a second so the recording can hear it. Let's see.
Oh, you'll play it live. Good idea.
Yeah, literally.
Is this the right one?
Get copyright struck.
Yeah, is this the right one?
It's the right one. Yeah, that's the movie I was talking
I don't think
about.
we have to worry about anything copyright because they're unlisted, and even if they weren't, it's not like we're trying to make money off it. So I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
It'd only be a little snippet.
Unless somebody of the server like becomes an imposter and like sues us or something.
Crazy.
Where is this?
It sounds really pretty so far.
Are you hearing it by yourself right now?
Yeah, because I'm not broadcasting it, but I'm playing it for the recording. So anyone who watches this.
Nice. mean, you don't have to listen to all. I just mentioned it so you can listen to it later if you like. And
Yeah, I just played a little.
think about an imaginary,
I
what
just
an
did a little-
imaginary
Cadmium
little
credit.
section
Sparkles
there.
Heartsuit Blue Heart said, "It's much louder than you guys speaking and I can't figure out how to adjust it."
I think it's hard when it's at the little embedded thing.
It's okay, you don't have to listen to it now. I just wanted to mention it so you can listen to it later.
Yeah, I got a little snippet in.
Mhm.
I always forget if I held my button down the whole time. Like, I'll be talking and I'll be like, did I take off my push to talk too early? Did you guys even hear that whole sentence? Like, and there was like, when I went back on one of the archives, I was like, oh, I was talking at that point and I didn't press the button. Like, no wonder everyone was so quiet because I hadn't said anything.
Wait, guys, I figured out the problem.
Uh-oh.
I figured out the problem. It's fine. I'm back now.
Okay, good.
It's so fascinating how quickly you just find stuff, then like send it in here in real time.
I know, Kat's
Like
so
we're
good at
talking
finding
about.
stuff.
It's one of my small repertoire of skills.
Small
Very good.
repertoire. Just finding links real fast in the midst
Yeah.
of this call.
And remembering things about your hyperfixation. That
Yeah,
too.
that's-
Yes.
Miller
but
Purple
that's-
Heart
so
said,
fair.
"Server retriever."
Yes.
Hell yeah. I love the TTS. It's so good.
It's
It's so
really
helpful.
it was really funny last night. I know we already said that, but it was really funny last night.
Cadmium Sparkle Heart said Blue Heart.
Yeah.
Literally. I hate that it will ignore the emojis in the message, but
numbers.
not in the. Oh, what I'm gonna try to do is we have I think I said this earlier, but we have a Plural Kits channel, but it doesn't get used really. So I'm gonna change it to just be a bot channel. It had been originally, and I changed it. I'm gonna change it back, so that way if anyone wants to go in there and like adjust their settings, I have to figure out if there's a way to like have you guys be able to mess with stuff that doesn't mess with the TTS as a whole, like set your nicknames and stuff. Otherwise I'll just, if you want to just message in there and just be like, can I have my nickname be this? Then I'll just do it for you. Like, we'll figure out a way to do it.
I will cause problems on purpose. JK, I will not.
Hell yeah. Let's just make it super chaotic up in here.
That's what last
We
night
love
was.
chaos.
No, literally John Madden. Like, it's so good.
I had to do the meme. I couldn't not do the meme.
Oh my god, yeah. So it'll be good. I'm so glad doing the PowerPoint stuff has been so fun so far. I'm so excited. I really like your timeline, Astral. I love the ending. Like I said, I couldn't picture how it would be. So to have it, like to see it and be like go through the emotions as if I were watching a movie. Like having actors stab Dark, I was like, what? No.
We just needed a little more angst. I did not suffer enough while writing this, so I had to just add a little more. I was
You're
planning
like, a little bit of
on
this,
drawing
a
this
sprinkle
too.
of this, like.
I was planning on drawing it too, like actor with like black blood on his hands, but I didn't have the time.
See,
I'm so
But I will
glad.
do this for Halloween.
See, I'm an actor enjoyer, so I'm wondering what he was actually feeling and thinking in that moment, because I don't think my actor could kill his Dark because he feels bad. He won't admit it, but he feels really bad about
That's why
everything.
I mentioned that he was showing an unconvincing happiness in his face.
That's
Right, but
so,
like
so
the
angsty.
emotion, yeah, but like the emotions at the time of the motivation for trying to do that.
Oh yeah,
Just
I think
maybe
it was
playing his role.
like the way I understood myself. It was because of like the way he's delusionally like setting this to happen. Like the
Yeah.
entire events of Damien were like, you're the villain. I need a villain for my story. And usually a villain and a hero end up fighting at some point and having like a showdown. And
Right, yeah.
that's what he felt obligated to do because he set it into motion. TM, it actually was the entity who set it into motion, but
Yes.
you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
No, that totally makes sense.
Plus,
to me.
I just
The
wanted more
idea that-
suffering.
The idea that he's like, well, this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm the hero. I have to do this. Like, look, I did it. I look at the story I've created, you know, like that kind of thing. But then also being like, this doesn't feel great. Like, you know. I love him. I hate
Exactly.
Yeah,
him.
no. And that's what's fucked up. I'm missing pieces to my thing.
And
I'm missing pieces.
when I realized
To your what?
that
Unrelated to our conversation here. Sorry, that was misleading.
when I realized that you were having Dark like shove him in, I was like, oh no. And then it sounded like he was bouncing backwards, so he was gonna be fine. And then he was not fine, and he saved Celine. I was like, no. Wait.
I wanted to have a triple like plot twist in the scene.
Yeah, it worked. I was invested. I was on a roller coaster.
I was emotionally invested as well.
Thanks. I love the idea. Like I have drawn a comic once. It is not canon in my head canon, but like the idea of Damien throwing out Celine the same way he threw us out,
Oh, stop.
just to like it's to take control over himself. Like the entity is there as well, but to have nobody else except for the default. That's just very like it scratches a certain spot in my brain, and I like it very much.
Yeah, it's
Miller Purple Heart said, pulled the rug out from under us, and then the floor, and then the whole earth with that end.
You got it, Miller.
it's the same thing where like when
I
you
am
talked
glad.
about how Damien like kicked the viewer out into the mirror, I always had pictured that angsty face of like, I'm sorry, I betrayed you. This is what I did. It's too late now. Like, and being like upset that way. So the idea that it was like maybe not selfless, because he was like overriding our free will, like taking that choice away from us, which is like
Yeah.
so horrible for life is ours to choose. It's so angsty, but like he did it thinking it's what was best for us, instead of like, oh my god, I can't.
And especially because, like Mark said, it's not to save us, but there's a little space between saving and just doing it maliciously.
Right.
So I like to
exactly.
experiment with that.
Yeah, it's
and
like
it's really cool.
it's that thin line there of like someone not only like, because I had always imagined it as like Damien's half. Obviously, Dark is a few things, but at least Damien's part, I could see him as like knowing he was doing something bad and like just having to do it and hating that he had to do it. But the idea that like he thinks he was doing something, like he was making the best he could out of a horrible situation, like, oh, stop, my heart, I can't.
Yeah, because at the end it didn't really like matter. They're trapped either way. That's how I
Wow,
always
there's a
saw
song
it.
about that.
Oh my god, that's so sad. I can't.
We love sad.
Oh my god. It's like we talked about, like I could see the angst approaching like a fucking train. I was like, no, please.
It's building up. I was like rubbing my hands together, waiting for.
Yeah.
Because that's canon. You can't possibly. That's the one unifying factor. There is no way to make a timeline that isn't angsty, because canon is angsty.
Is angsty. Yeah.
Well, and then Astral went and made it worse. So
You're
like,
welcome.
after everything, all that stuff is so fucking sad. And like Michael just constantly wanting, like so consistently like wanting Damien and like Actor by extension, like horrifying, so sad.
I have feelings for Damien. I don't know. I know this may come as a shock to you guys. I'm sorry.
Really? I didn't know
that on you out of nowhere, but I actually have feelings for Damien.
He and I
Crazy.
are married, so he is my mayor.
We're all
husband.
married.
He goes out. I don't even know what a district attorney does. Just imagine, like in The Sims, when they do a rabbit hole, they just disappear and then they come back at the end of the day. But then he goes.
You're
and
right.
does
I don't know
things.
either.
Yeah, and then he comes to give us like little kisses on our head, and he's like, "Hi, honey, I'm home from work." Like, you know.
Stop.
Miller Purple Heart said, I mean, but do y'all have a wedding ring for him, lol?
I
do,
have a ring.
in fact.
I've showed you guys my ring.
Yeah, you showed us it.
Now.
The flower one.
Yeah, and then I have my silicon one that I wear when I'm doing like yard work and shit that I can't risk breaking my main ring.
Kevin's so
So I have-
offended. Like,
I have,
I
course.
do have a
silver one.
ring.
I have a little silver one with a blue like rock on it.
Stop, you guys. I don't have a ring. I have rings
You
from
could get one.
Howl's Moving Castle that I could reuse. Something like that. Because I just have them sitting
You have-
around. You know, but one of
You
them
have
does
free
have
will.
blue
Just
stone.
get yourself a ring.
Literally,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so good. It's so good to have a ring. Because then you look down and you're like, oh, right, my beloved.
Yes.
It's like I've always really wanted like a feather necklace for Hawks from MHA.
Okay.
Just to look down and be like, I'm his
Yeah.
and he's mine.
Yeah,
You know, like,
exactly. Yes.
it's so good. People were talking about
Beloveds.
recently how cringy that is. Beloveds, yeah.
Yes.
Cringe is dead.
Exactly.
There's no cringe.
Exactly. I was like, come on, you guys. Just commit to be great.
Yeah, no, genuinely. The problem is not me for quote unquote being cringe. The problem is on you who's cringing.
For not liking
Fix
cringe.
yourself.
It's
Yeah.
like that thing of like, when you're like wearing something that you're shy about or whatever, and it's like, well, if someone's like looking at you that much and being rude, that's on them. They're freaks, you know, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
like who are you?
Like especially
to stare at me?
neurodivergent people are not going to judge.
Yeah,
For
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
yeah.
Most of the neurodivergent community just knows what this is about.
Yeah, and like not only with the server, but also in real life, like being around more neurodivergent people, or just in general people who are like used to neurodivergent people, or used to like
Yeah.
being a little.
And the other
weird,
thing
like-
is, people aren't generally like mean. Like,
yeah,
like you can just say, oh yeah, my special interest, blah 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 blah, and they
Yeah.
might be like, they might not be like interested or really like supportive, but they're not going to be like,
Right.
wow, you're a freak. Go like we're not in high
Yeah.
school anymore. They're not going to be open to you.
yeah. It's like the thing because I'm an art student in the art building. It's all very like. Most of us are neurodivergent, and anyone who isn't
Of
is
course.
like, so chill. You know, like it's so fine.
That's awesome. In general, like art schools, I imagine them to be full of hyperfixations. Like
Yeah.
full of people.
Well, and it's so funny.
I feel
'cause
like
it's just a community college, but like the art building is very isolated. So like it's a bunch of like quote unquote normies, like people who are just like wearing normal clothes and like stuff like that, and or like sportsy people. And then you turn the corner and it's like Lolita and goth and like merch wear, and everyone's like talking about their favorite stuff, and like there's a bulletin board where anyone can stick up any of their art. Like it's just like people could like there's a lot of fan art that goes up there
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Like it's so.
I feel like many have commented on this, but you kind of have to be a little weird to be an artist.
Yeah,
Like
Of course.
that makes sense for sure.
normal people don't make art.
No, it's
Find
such,
me
it's
an
like that
artist with
tortured
normal in
artist
the head.
vibe.
What?
Definitely. Who?
You? I didn't hear you.
Okay. I just said, find me an artist that is normal in the head.
Yeah.
Literally. No, it's so good. Not to mention, like, a lot
God,
of
it's-
things could be counted as art, you know? Which opens up a whole new can of worms.
Sure.
Oh my god, it's 11:30.
Yeah, I think
How
it's
long
been
did my presentation alone take?
2.5
About 90
hours.
minutes.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was more like 90 minutes.
Crazy.
'Cause we started at 12.
Yeah,
it's-
and ended around 4:30 my
Oh,
time.
yeah, the
I didn't
presentation
expect it to be this long.
itself, yeah. 'Cause for
Plus,
y'all-
Discord not wanting me to show the next slide, and
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
think it was like
Yeah.
90 minutes, which
yeah, the
I have
PowerPoint
to
itself, yeah.
because I had checked at the end because I was curious because I'm curious how long
Mhm.
mine is gonna be. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to do like a test run. I'm gonna rope
Mhm.
in some of my other friends and be like, "Hi,
Yeah, like
you're
a
gonna
practice
bear
round.
witness." Yeah. I won't make them go through the whole thing because we
Just
don't
figure
have
out like
time.
an average ratio of like slide to minutes. Because people
I
have
can
said it's like 5 minutes per slide, and I'm like, I don't. It depends
Really?
on the topic.
When I googled
Or-
it, it said 1 to 2 minutes per slide.
Yeah, no.
but
Nice
it's
try.
different slides. Like some slides are just an emoji, some slides are
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a novel. And what you can do, like what I always did in school, and what I wanted to do with this one but didn't have time for, is just doing the presentation in front of the wall, like with nobody there, in its full length, and
Yeah,
then seeing how long it was.
Yeah, that's smart. I'm gonna be way too lazy for that. We're gonna learn
Yeah,
what my PowerPoint is in real time. Like,
yeah, I'm
Awesome.
gonna do like a tech test, and um,
A
I'm so
typo
excited.
test.
Yeah.
yeah, because
I had so
obviously
many
anyone can
typos
also
that I
like
didn't check.
anyone can hop into the regular voice channel and test things out if they want to. That's
No,
obviously
no spoilers.
oh,
None.
true,
No
true, true,
spoilers.
true. I have a testing server. I don't know about y'all.
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna harass my other friends in the server
Hell
and be
yeah.
like, "Hi, we're doing you're helping me do a tech test."
Nice.
Miller Purple Heart said, if I can't get my mum to sit through a
Yes.
test run, then I'll do it for my dolls lol.
Oh my god,
Good.
it's so true. It's like the concept in coding apparently, like coding majors
Mhm.
and jobs,
Yep.
where they have a rubber duck that they talk to like talk out the code and figure out what's
Yep.
wrong with it. Like,
It's the same thing. That's why half the time your problem yourself fixes itself when you like call tech support or get a technician to come.
yeah, yeah, that makes total sense. Like
Ooh,
to talk it
The
out loud and
instant
be
you
like,
have
"Oh, but I
to,
didn't do
yeah.
this." You're so right, you know.
true. Oh my
Oh
god.
shit!
I
I
never
just
thought
did
about
something
this
stupid.
phenomenon. What did you do?
Something stupid. I'm working on my embroidery project. Which have I told you guys? The server hasn't been around for a full year, so I doubt I would have sent pictures yet. But I have stockings for all of the Hookah Markiplier,
I
my
think you
polycule.
mentioned stockings, but I don't think we've seen it yet.
Yes, so I'll show you guys when we get to December. But
Hell yeah.
I never finished
Ooh.
mine, so I've just had theirs up. So I'm trying to actually finish mine for this year. So that's what I'm working on now that there's nothing to look at on the screen. I'm doing
Yeah,
that.
literally. Keeping your hands busy. I've got a fidget spinner. Like,
Yes.
Oh my god. The good old fidget spinner times.
is it late for you, Astral?
Uh, it's 20 minutes before midnight, so it's okay.
Yes.
But I'm
Okay.
already pretty tired.
What'd you
I'm
say,
already
Savior?
pretty tired of talking too much.
Yeah,
That's
no,
Well,
why
I
I
get
would
that.
you gave
That's
a big
so
I
long
would love
annoying.
presentation.
Once I
I would
once I'm
love to
done with
peacefully
these and like the watch parties
yeah.
and stuff, I just lay down in bed and stare at the ceiling for a while.
Yep. Especially I do because after every watch party it's in
It's
middle of the
super
night,
late there.
Yeah. um yeah, so if
which
you're
is
ready to wrap
not
up, I can end the
which
recording
is
and we
not
can
always bad.
finish up.
Oh, you're recording it. You're recording?
Yeah, usually I just keep
Oh,
recording until the end of the call, and if someone
okay.
wants me to cut out chatter, then I can just cut it
Okay. Got it. I mean, it's not bad to have the presentations at night because that way I nearly always have time
out. Oh, good.
because nobody wants to do something at
Yeah,
night.
nobody else
So
is trying to
nights are
schedule
free.
with you.
Yeah.
Nobody else
Oh,
is
that
like, hey,
reminds
let's
me.
go do something at 2 in the
Yeah, that
morning.
reminds me. Because I'm going on vacation too next week, and a few friends and I were like discording about booking stuff and shit.
Oh yeah.
It was already like it was before our watch party, and it was like 10 minutes before that, I think. And I was like, oh, I have to leave now. It was midnight, I think. I have to leave now. And a friend was like, to sleep, or do you have another like appointment out of a joke? And I was like, yeah, I have another appointment now.
Yeah, you got like a lineup going, like a big old planner full. I'm really glad that the
That was
calendar
awesome.
feature exists. Like,
Oh my god, I would die without one.
yeah, because it tells you the time difference, right? Like it adjusts it for your time.
Yes, I don't have to do math. It's awesome.
Yeah, that sounds so annoying to try to do that math.
'Cause I have to Google it
See,
all the time.
I'm really used to dealing with time zones because my boss is actually usually in Europe. She's actually also German.
Oh, interesting.
Oh.
So she's been in the States because her partner slash my second smaller boss has been having visa issues. But so I'm used to the calculating that 6-hour time difference, and I'm used to the East Coast West Coast time difference because Mark is there, and so I have to do that one all the time, even if I didn't have to do it for work. So I feel reasonably adept at time zones.
I'm okay with
That's
like
good.
west to east. Like I not only do I have family in the east, but my partner's over there. And I used to live there too. But like anything outside of the US, I'm like, I don't know.
I am also I've also find, and I'm gonna get fucked up again with the Australia one because the daylight savings time is gonna do something weird. But
God.
I finally got the Australia time difference down for my friend who lives in Australia. It's like 14 hours. So like there right
it's
now
so bad.
there right now it's going on 7 in the morning.
Yeah, I have another friend of mine, their partner is in Australia, and every time they're like, "Yeah, it's this time for them." And I'm like, "What the
Wait, no,
fuck?" Like,
I guess it's 8. I can count. It's like 14 hours off.
it seems like so much. I
Crazy.
didn't even try to do the math when you said that. Like, I was like, "Yeah, okay."
It's
Like,
crazy.
I'm like right in the middle. For me, it's like 7 plus minus
that's
1.
so much.
Mhm.
But
But yeah, no. And then daylight savings time is coming to screw everybody up for until because Europe, most of Europe at least, it's like 2 weeks late. Like so, there's like a weird. It's weird, and I don't like it, and I
yeah,
don't
I
think
was gonna
anybody
say,
likes
do
it.
other countries not do daylight saving? I hate daylight savings. I wish it didn't exist.
What's that exactly? Maybe I
So
just don't know the term.
when we roll the clocks back or forward an hour, accommodate when because like that's
Oh
the
yeah,
thing. Not everybody does it, and I know
yeah.
the
We
countries
do.
the countries that do it in Europe don't do it the same day. So there's like 2 or 3 weeks
Huh.
out of the year where the offset is different before Europe
Oh.
goes back or forward and matches us.
Okay.
Like we do it first.
Mhm.
So prepare to be screwed up for a couple weeks is what I'm
I
warning
Oh,
you.
hate
shit.
daylight savings. I hate it.
No, it's like statistically correlated with like deaths. Like people die because we keep doing daylight savings time.
Yeah,
Like it
it's like
throws.
driving and stuff like that, right? When you're
Well,
so tired and
I think it's also just like in old people, like it just throws your system off enough that like if you are
Mm.
sick or old, you die. That's the same thing with the changing of the seasons. More people
Yeah.
die when the seasons change because it's like a stress the body. You know, if you're elderly and you're coming to the end of your life, like that's what does it. That's what pushes you over.
That's
Oh my god.
crazy. It's interesting,
I think
but isn't it
the
apparently
daylight
like
saving thing. Oh, sorry.
oh go ahead, go ahead.
I just want to say, I think the daylight saving thing. I don't know if it's something different. What we call it when we change like clocks. It's summertime, wintertime.
Yeah,
Huh.
we call it
Oh, I
standard
see.
time or daylight savings time because it would make too much sense to call it that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because to be fair, we have like when we say the summertime, like it just means like
Mhm.
the summer, so that's probably why they don't do it
Yeah.
like that. Because we say, oh, summertime, wintertime, we just
Mhm.
mean the
Well,
seasons.
wouldn't every
Yeah.
is that I don't know enough about
I don't even
That's.
know.
I mean, in
language.
German, it's the same thing. You can say like summertime is also the time of summer, but
Oh yeah.
you just
Contextual.
get it from the context. Like you set the clock to summertime and to wintertime.
Oh, I see. That's too easy. Like it'd be too
Yeah.
smart.
We don't want
I
to do
mean,
that in the States.
we are cooler because we have the metric system.
I'm
Hey,
so bad at the metric system.
It
well,
makes so much more sense.
I
I
believe
have
you
Why
so
don't
much.
you have?
I have a degree in science, so I can do both, but I will stand by Fahrenheit is better for the weather
Fahrenheit makes more sense to me.
because you can talk about like the quote unquote percent hot thing, but it's not like it's all relative, right? The reason that Fahrenheit is better for human experience is because the difference between like a Celsius degree is like 2.4 Fahrenheit degrees. So like if it's
Yeah.
20 degrees Celsius, but like a low 20 degrees Celsius, that feels palpably different than a high 20 degrees Celsius. Like you can feel the difference versus, at least
Well,
in
I've
my
also heard.
experience.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Go ahead.
Yeah, like true, but I like the roundness of 0 and 100 for water boiling and water freezing.
Yeah, I get that.
Like
I've
it's
heard people
prettier.
argue that like temperature should be how humans feel versus like how water
Well,
feels. Like
that's what Fahrenheit was designed for. But realistically, it's
right.
relative. You form your associations or whatever.
Hmm.
But I will stand by. I think Fahrenheit is a better system every day because the degrees are smaller, and so
Hmm.
there's a level of like I would get like
You can have
I
point numbers. You can
yeah,
have
but that's
20.9.
sure. But you just said one of the things you like is round 0 and 100 thing.
Yeah,
If you
but you
have to be
can do
like,
it
oh,
optionally. You can do it optionally, you can say
I will
point
say
0.9, 0.1.
I think your argument doesn't hold.
as much as I don't like having to transfer for the metric system, it seems like from what I do know that it's objectively better. Like trying
I
to
mean, yeah.
translate from feet to yards or whatever the fuck we have, I don't even know.
Feet
Yeah,
and
no,
yards. Ah.
that's definitely cleaner. That
Yeah.
system, I will say. And the
Wait
only
a second.
reason,
About the roundness of numbers, I was just trying to solve the problem of the low 20 and the high 20. Okay? It does not make
I
sense.
see I've touched on a sensitive issue here.
Astral's like, I will not take these false
I will defend the
allegations.
Celsius. I will defend the Celsius until the day I die.
I don't like
Water is
Celsius.
objective. Humans are subjective. Therefore,
know
the
the
And that's
answers
why
back to sweat.
I'm
we
just
need,
babbling.
and that's
I just
yeah,
get used
that's
to it.
why
That's
we
why I like
need.
it. I don't have a reason to like it more.
But yeah,
100
America
hot,
should have switched to. America
Huh?
should have switched to like centimeters, meters, etc.
Yeah.
We're stubborn. But I'll stand by Fahrenheit.
Yeah, I like Fahrenheit because 100 degrees hot. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
It's
once
hot.
it reaches 100 degrees, you're like,
100
oh my
degree,
god.
100 degrees hot, 0
100
degrees
degrees is
cold.
water boiling.
See,
No!
and I don't experience that. See, that's how much bigger they are because 212 degrees is water boiling. That's how much bigger your Celsius
That's
are.
crazy. I also didn't know that. I don't know. I don't take temperatures when I boil water. Like, I know nothing about temperatures. I don't
Well,
know.
no, yeah. 212 is water boiling, 32 is water.
That's
32.
Mm-hmm.
I also struggle when I play Phasmophobia because I'm like, what am I looking at? Like, what is this?
That's not. 0 is a more pretty number than 32.
So 0 is
Yes.
freezing in Celsius?
Yes.
Yeah, and 100 is boiling.
That is
Because it was
handy for when
designed
you're
around
cooking.
water.
We should just make it where like we use it depending on what. So like Fahrenheit is
Well,
for
that's-
weather.
Well, no, but that's what we do in America. Like in scientific context, it's Kelvin or Celsius, and Kelvin and Celsius are the same. Just
I was just about to say
But-
what? Like
the size of
Yeah,
the degrees
yeah.
are the same, but 0 Kelvin is like absolute 0, like the coldest possible like conceptualization. Yeah. And then it just goes up from there. So like stars are like 3,000. I'm probably fucking wrong about this because I haven't
That's
I haven't-
crazy.
had to try to recall this in
What in
4
the
years,
universe is
but-
0 Kelvin?
Well, nothing. That's like the
Oh, okay.
that's like the theoretical limit.
2 Kelvin.
A very interesting topic in which we slipped into.
Yeah, literally. Isn't that so funny how we always like go off topic?
How did we get here?
Yeah, who even knows?
Time zones and then metric system.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
I was bullying. I was bullying you for not having the metric system,
Oh yeah.
and then we fought about Fahrenheit
To be
and
fair,
I
it's
was
so
defending
fair.
Fahrenheit.
The other thing that's so fair to bully us about is the English language itself, like grammar and
Oh
stuff.
my god.
I have no idea how anyone, like how you, for example, or anyone learns English as a second language. Like it
No,
sucks.
it's language learning, like language acquisition, like native language acquisition is such an interesting topic. I wish I'd like taken another linguistic class in college or something because it's so interesting. Because I'm learning Japanese, so
I was
like
just about to say I was trying to learn it. I took 2
yeah,
Japanese classes and I could not tell you.
yeah, it's really fascinating because it's such a fundamental
Mhm.
thing brains do is
Yeah.
process language, and it's.
I mean, I grew up with multiple languages, so I was used on
Ouch.
learning a new one.
Ah,
Plus, like, English is the language you learn here, or like
Yeah.
everywhere except for English-speaking countries. So it wasn't really hard for me because all I struggle with is occasional grammar when I try to improvise, or like when I try to say a word correctly, and it comes like the German accent sometimes just comes through, and
yeah. I don't think there's
yeah, it
anything you
sounds very
said
cool.
where I like don't understand what you're saying. Like your accent's very
That's
good.
the thing. Like that's where Mark talks about his mom. Like just because someone who speaks English as a second language is not using the same grammar or construction that someone who speaks
Yeah.
English as their native language does, doesn't mean it doesn't make sense. And that's my
Yeah.
thing with language. Like talking to people, it's like, okay, cool, but like I understand what you mean, so clearly it's good enough, right?
Yeah.
Like clearly we can
Plus, I understand y'all like I just struggle with finding my own words
Yeah, I've heard
sometimes.
that's hard too. Yeah.
But I understand the rest, like what I hear, because it's easier to understand than to speak, actually.
Yeah, and that's like my thing studying Japanese. Like I should be practicing talk. I have it's pirated, but it's like recorded like it was recommended
that's
by my
smart.
boss. My boss knows like a bunch of languages.
Oh, that's so cool.
Cuz they're it's the term is digital nomads, right? So they will like go around Europe and they live in like Portugal part of the year,
Oh, that's
France
sick.
part of the year, and then they go back to Germany and visit
Crazy.
family and like so she knows at least a little bit of like several languages. So she had recommended Pimsleur for language learning, and like it's like audio based because like evidence shows that like the talking is like how you really internalize a language, but like nobody likes talking because it's hard.
Because I was taking Japanese at my community college. I had taken Japanese no, did I take? I don't know. I took Japanese 1 like last semester, and not only could I not keep up with it because my semester got out of hand, but like it's just hard. But like learning languages is so cool. Like the world has to get so much bigger when you know another language. Like
I want to learn. I want to like. I do want to. I don't need to be or anything, but I want to like interact with Japanese fandom online.
Yeah, exactly.
Go to the country and like get around without feeling scared. I am planning on. It was funny. I was just talking with my roommate / friend today. She had brought up Tokyo's Disneyland and how it's like the only good one and all the other ones actually suck. Yeah. Yeah, anyway, that's like a total irrelevant tangent.
On languages.
Very interesting pipeline of conversations we took.
It's so funny to try to go backwards and be like, what?
Oh my god,
Astral,
I'm so tired.
Are we keeping you up? Should we let you go to sleep?
I think it's bedtime. I think it's bedtime for you, Astral.
You're free to go. You're free to go. We're not holding you here.
Yeah, let's finish up. I'm gonna go do my homework.
Back up. Boring.
Boo.
Yeah, it should be easy. It's my death and dying class. It's very fascinating.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so there was a little bit at the beginning to edit out. Oh, Astral, did you want me to edit out just all of your intro about your personal information?
Yeah, I mean, I just need a little thing over my first name because I just wanted to mention it, and over my face, or like the pictures in general, and maybe the few times where there's a long pause in between because of technical difficulties.
Yeah, because I can if you want just straight up cut out the entire thing and start after, or I can censor it. Either way's fine.
I mean, censoring is fine because it's just a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we got the exclusive. We got the exclusive info live. We got to learn that you look cool.
Yeah, literally.
Everyone else will not know you look cool.
Have a little bit of a visual now.
Thanks. I'm sorry for asking for so much, but I had it. I made that one embarrassing mistake at the beginning when I was like saying what my timeline was, the first one. I'm melting into the floor. I would love for that not to be in the archive thing.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it. I don't remember that exact part, but I'll scroll through.
I don't think you need to be embarrassed because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know at all. Yeah, but you know, I'll look, I'll see if anything seems noticeable, I'll cut it. And I'll try to cut out some of the awkward pauses, but the technical issues we'll keep in. Because otherwise it doesn't.
Okay, yeah, no, that's okay. That's part of the fun. Just watching us suffer.
It's your bedtime, Astral. Great PowerPoint presentation, timeline.
Yay, yippee.
It's really fun.
Thanks, a great conversation.
Yeah,
as always.
I've been going into like small talk after. It's fun.
Awesome.
Hey, this is
Are you going to keep it all in?
Talk. Yeah, I'll keep it all in. Yeah,
we will the entire. Okay.
Yeah, why not?
I mean,
little podcast.
The
Miller Purple Heart said, "Yeah, this was awesome."
The recordings are only being shared within the server, right?
Yeah.
Like they're
if there's anybody who wants to like post it to their Tumblr or something, just let us know and we'll see like if everybody involved is comfortable with it who's in that call. But yeah, as of right now, they're all just being posted on a private YouTube. So
yeah, because I'm fine with my stuff being in.
This is so cool now. This is a
Vancouver.
small podcast, like,
It's
on
so
edition.
fun, and we could do like an actual podcast at some point where we come each week with like different topics about the cinematic universe, like.
Or not. The cinematic
Distractible,
universe.
we're coming for you.
Literally, could you
Kicking
imagine?
you off the chart.
Could you imagine overtaking Distractible as like a
It would
fan
not.
podcast? That'd be crazy.
It would not. It simply would not happen.
Yeah, literally. Also, I wouldn't want it to. That'd be so much pressure. Oh my god.
I don't want to be
Oh,
pursued by Mark.
Yeah,
It's
literally.
1 minute before midnight.
Oh my god.
I will
Good
listen to music now.
night. Good
Alright, bye you
night.
guys. Good,
I
good
listen-
PowerPoint.
Listen to the song I like Kat sent in, and thank you for
Yeah,
listening
there
and
we
for all
go.
the comments.
Of course.
Bye-bye.
You're wonderful. Snaps. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.